All right, time now for our new favorite segment.
Yes, what day is it with Todd Meany?
It's Friday.
That's right, Todd Meany. It is Friday, October 18th, show 252. I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
And once again, in for Dan.
Hold on.
I'm
Everybody, give a warm welcome to today's special guest host, Danny Heavy Metal Bayless.
I'm heavy metal.
That's right. That's right. Now, real Dan, will be joining us at some point today as it is Friday, so we have picks. No Cowboy game, but we have picks. And apparently my father was able to dictate part of the slate per the email that I received as Georgia, Texas will be filling in for a Cowboy pick this weekend.
Yeah, it was just a recommendation by Chappie, so
And he thinks he has license to just make recommendations.
throw him a bone.
I guess, yeah. So Dan's in Cleveland. Talked to him for a while this morning. And he's going to Browns-Bengals on Sunday. Sweet life, as we talked about yesterday.
Oh, must be nice.
It must be nice. The only way he'll go is if there is a suite available to him and he can get free food. Good food, rich people food. As Aaron Hernandez said, which we're going to talk about that show a little bit later, the first time he ever went to one of Robert Kraft's parties with his fake girlfriend, he's like, why do rich people only eat small foods?
Interesting.
Yeah, like him and his girlfriend are talking about it, and he's like, I don't know, I think they eat big foods later, but they hide it from people.
I'm not sure if I don't know what the catering situation's up or what it's like in, say, Jerry's suite. But every suite that I've been in, it's typically the same stuff.
Oh, there's levels, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
you're talking about the chicken tendy package?
Yes.
Maybe some sliders.
You remember the time that my friend Mr. Chad and I went to a concert and we got lucky enough to get in a suite to go see Steely Dan. It was great.
Yeah.
Get a little hungry in the middle of it.
Sure. It's a long show.
Yeah, it can be. So we dipped into the catering tins, and of course it's your chicken fingers and whatnot. And the second the encore was finished, we both looked at each other with the same look on our face, like we've got to find a bathroom. Now, thankfully, I was working at the ticket at the time and was able to walk the 26 feet from the exit of the AAC on the south side, go
little side door.
Right to that side door with the key card, and we sprinted to the fourth floor.
Yep.
And sat next to each other in stalls and just unleashed hell.
Yeah, I've made the run from that exit or the Olympic fast walk to that door after a sporting event several times.
Yeah.
Several times. It's like, look, I can get in here. I got to take advantage of it. So I got to go now.
And to this day, and that was, I don't know, 12 years ago, 11 years ago, to this day, anytime somebody in that friend group has diarrhea, it's known as the Steely Dan flu.
There you go. No, the Jerry sweet food is better, I can confirm.
You've been up there?
Yeah.
Why?
I sat in a suite for the what was the big fight, Jake? Errol Spence.
Okay.
At AT&T.
I remember. Is that when you wrecked your car?
No, my friend wrecked his car, and I was in the front seat.
Oh, that's right. Blake got in 2 car accidents in like 18 months, and both could have been fatal.
I think it was just one.
Oh, okay. I thought you wrecked. No, Ham wrecked his car.
Yeah.
You wrecked in a car that looked like you should have died.
Very well could have.
Yeah.
Seatbelt saved my life. And here I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, no, they're cutting prime rib.
That's what
for
I was
you.
going to say.
Oh, really?
It's
So
a
it's
prime
like-
rib bar.
So it's basically like a wedding reception every Sunday for
Kind
Jerry.
But I remember there were like 3 different tables. Like you had your sushi
Yep.
table over here. You had the guy cutting prime rib here. Then you have like all these deluxe.
You know what they call that?
sides.
A carving station.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah, carving.
Yeah.
But they had like truffle mac and cheese in the middle. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I
It's
think
a different level.
I think Ben and Skin made a career out of the carving station instructional video from. You remember that?
Oh,
thing?
yeah. Yeah, the guy's like,
The guy's trying to.
see the game last night
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah. How to conversate with customers.
Yeah.
At a carving station.
No, they have some
Useful.
legit ones. I don't know what it'll be Sunday for Dan. I know it won't be tendies. Dan ain't going unless there's a free fish option. So, like,
Yeah.
sushi's a very likely player.
Speaking of carving station, this might be
Yeah,
an
of course.
Yeah,
we were
well-
just doing that.
This
Yeah.
might be an unpopular opinion, but fuck prime rib.
What?
It is
is wrong with you?
terrible,
Dude, you're
It's
hot.
fatty. It's flavorless.
It's so good.
bland. It's
No.
chewy. It's
No.
raw.
No, it's.
I
and
don't like it, man.
You don't like you get it. You can either do like au jus or that like peppercorny
Or
white
the-
sauce.
The
That stuff is-
horseradish sauce they put on it. No, everything about the carving station. It needs to. You know what you need to do with the carving station? Here's
Oh
what you
Jesus! I did not expect this today.
do. If you see a carving station, all right, just
Yeah.
take the whole thing, go into the men's room, take that big knife and rake it into the toilet and cut out the middleman, because that's where it's going to end up anyway.
That's how all food is, dummy.
I know, but some of the food, the in between process, there's some enjoyment. There's no enjoyment at the carving station. You got to wait.
I think
and there's
you
a
had a-
line, and then the guy's
it's a process.
real skimpy with the thing, and so
He
you
wants
got to
it
go
thin.
back and go through it again, and then you sit there, and it's so unsatisfying. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people that will agree with me. And smash that like button and subscribe.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
and
Leave
add
us
your
a
comment in the
5-star,
section.
folks, on prime rib sucks.
Yeah, let me hear from you.
I like prime rib. I don't
Sounds
really
like
know.
You've had a bad experience.
I've had it.
When
I've
done
tried
right, it's-
so many times.
Well,
It just doesn't have any flavor. I don't know.
Where do you fall on?
think.
I know it's not prime rib; it's like a tenderloin, but because we're just straight up talking rich people food right
Let's
now.
go.
mhm.
Where do you fall on beef Wellington?
I've never had it.
Dude, my mom broke that out at either Thanksgiving or Christmas a couple years ago. That is something they've been hiding from us.
No, that's basically a steak wrapped in bread, right?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a beef tenderloin.
Uh huh.
And I think they smoked it, and then it has like
What is this?
puff pastry
Yeah.
around it.
Looks like a
Right.
pineapple.
No, that's just puff, bro. I mean, technically, if you really wanted to get down to it, it's kind of just like an extremely roided up hot dog,
right.
right? You ever had beef Wellington, Rob? Okay? It's good stuff, man. You
I've
got, like,
always wanted to
the
try.
peppercorn
Yeah.
on the outside of the beef, and then it feels like it's like got a crescent roll or something.
It's like
That shit is.
James Bond dining
It does
out
feel.
food.
It does feel very.
I'll
James
have the
Bond.
beef Wellington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, as the holidays approach, I just once again want to give my full-throated support to people saying "fuck you" to the general Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. There's if again, you don't eat it the rest of the year. You don't just say, "What are we doing for dinner tonight?" Well, we could do fish tacos at home. I got some mahi or stuffing. No one does it.
Yeah.
No one does it.
There's
So-
a reason it's once a year, right?
Yeah, it's not good. There's a Wellington. Why don't you please the family with one of these bad boys this year?
I've got no problem with
Make
that.
a lasagna.
I've
you
done
know?
lasagna for Thanksgiving probably half the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just turkey, ham, baked ham, and
I like
just-
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes that's a 1 through 5 new NBA player. You can put that with anything,
Mhm.
and it's gonna cook.
Positionless.
Positionless side.
It's the stuffing, right?
No, there's no need for that. It's stuffing and turkey. Turkey can be good. Like, yes, if you smoke a turkey properly, but if you just have like a baked oven roasted turkey, that shit sucks. You know what you'd rather have? Any other meat.
Chicken.
Chicken, any other meat. Make
Mm.
chicken in a cool way. Make like cheap steaks. It's just not good food. And I don't know why we eat it. And fortunately, my mom, who can cook just about anything, figured this out about 10 years ago.
And she doesn't do it anymore.
No, she makes something awesome. Like she'll blacken a bunch of chicken, and we'll have like fettuccine Alfredo with lasagna, and we'll have like little, again, with the rich people thing, I believe they call them crostinis,
Oh yeah.
which is essentially just a small piece of bread that she'll put like little shrimp on and some cherry tomatoes.
That sounds great.
You know who didn't eat that? The Pilgrims, because they didn't know what that was, but we do.
The
We
turkey
do.
may have been the best they could have done, and it just became a
Right.
tradition. You know why the rest of the world, and specifically the rest of America, the only other time they eat turkey, and a lot of them eat it every day, is when it's processed and
Right.
loaded with sodium.
Sodium, yeah, you're just eating
and
a salt
sliced real,
sandwich.
really, really thin, and then layered
Yeah.
with mustard and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mac and cheese plays all day if you want that in there. My mom will change up the mac and cheese on you. Throw a little Gouda in there. A lot of options. Hell, my grandmother at one point, my dad's mom, got tired of it. A lot of kids at that point. She was like, we're calling the Papa. When we do Christmas at our house, we're calling the Papa. And we're getting 10 pizzas delivered.
On Christmas?
Yeah.
Papa John's is open on Christmas?
They were back then.
Yeah.
Right now, you got to struggle through the J and the B.
Yeah, under former leadership, it was open on Christmas.
That's right.
Gotcha.
When the Papa was the Papa. There's few things as depressing as being in line 8 cars deep at Jack in a Box on Christmas Eve
Christmas.
or Christmas night.
I've done it.
Oh,
9 or 10
who
p.m.
amongst?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
You weren't satisfied with your meal.
no, it sucked.
So you'd rather get 99-cent taco.
Well, it's no. I've only done it
2 for $99,
the
bro.
2 or 3 times that I've spent
Christmas alone.
spent Christmas alone.
What a loser.
It was early 20s. I didn't have a car. I wasn't able to go anywhere. I couldn't drive back home to Knox
Walked
City,
the
and
J and the B?
I got a ride.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's worse.
It's so much worse.
And at that point, it was 3 tacos for 99 cents.
Man,
Man, shrink
So
my-
you could
Biden.
get the Steely Dan flu for under $2.
Yeah. God, dude. I honestly I'm a fan of Jack in the Box, but I honestly don't know. I guess I'll probably get my THC on from every now and then going forward, but I honestly don't know that without being drunk I'll ever eat Jack in a Box again for the rest of my life.
Guess what? I've never done.
Yeah.
Eaten Jack in the Box when the sun's
Son,
up.
Yeah.
It's something you never do.
No, they know that too. They lean into it with the commercials.
yeah. Their late night menu,
Yeah.
where they're just covering tacos with like queso. Like they know what they're doing.
And then they've got the mini tacos that come in a bucket and they
Right.
cover it with cheese and shit.
Oh my God.
they
Maybe
know-
I'm back
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
They're pandering for sure. Hey, how about tacos, but they're miniature.
Yeah.
Whoa! What? Speaking of Steely Dan flu, I had one of the worst things happen to me this morning in the exercise world.
At what, 3 in the morning?
I made it to like 4:15 today.
5:45 today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
here.
is a normal person. It's a normal, motivated person. You are. I don't know why I said that like Yoda. When you have a set time and distance set out, but it's so early, and maybe your caffeine hasn't all the way kicked in yet, and you're halfway through, and you're like, I'm gonna shit my pants, but you're not in front of your house.
Where are you?
The neighborhood, you know,
Uh-huh.
like I'm halfway. I was about like, I don't know, about to 2 miles, and I'm like, I'm not done, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep going, and by like 2.1, I'm like, no, dude, we're making a right here, and we're sprinting back to the house.
Really?
Yeah, and
You
the
did not for the bush release?
No, I did not.
Find a shrub
I
somewhere?
did not poop in someone's like water feature out front or anything. Because the problem is if you stop, a lot of times you're not going to get going
Mhm.
after that. But the good thing is if you're running to poop, it probably won't take you long.
To run?
No, to poop.
Oh.
If it's desperate enough to where you have to up to zone 4
Uh-huh.
to get a poop, you can get that done in 1 minute.
But I hate sitting on a toilet sweaty.
It's the absolute worst. It's the reason why it's one of the more uncouth things you could do as a human being. I would say even worse than if you had to shit in the shower is if you had to poop while you were in the shower and you got out and you sat down on a toilet wet and pooped.
horrible.
Everyone's done it at some point.
And then
Yeah.
you debate taking another shower.
You debate it and you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just do it in the shower.
Sadly, I've done that.
Kind of mash it down with a flip flop.
I don't think it was on
the drain.
Flip flop, wife's loofah.
Yeah.
You waffle stomp it with your big toe.
It wasn't on purpose, but it has happened.
You accidentally crapped in the shower?
Yeah.
How do you accidentally crap ever?
Just the normal you trusted a fart thing.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a tough.
That's not an accident. That's getting fooled by nature.
Biting a pump fake.
Yeah, that's a pump fake. What are we doing?
I had a parent teacher conference yesterday.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
I think that they are all the same. I'm convinced they don't tell anybody your kid's not doing so hot.
Waffle stomp.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't buy that. I don't think that they ever say, hey, this is way out of the ordinary and might have a serial killer on your hands. I just don't. I think they tell everybody they're doing great. And I love my daughter's teacher, and I want to be very clear about that, especially since the meeting concluded with her being like, so I have to ask, do you have some sort of podcast or radio thing?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
And?
How'd she find out?
I handed her a business card with a QR code on it that takes you right to dumbzone.com. No, yeah, because there are other parents in the school that I've met that are listeners. And they told her. And, yeah, so now, if nothing else.
Well, hopefully they're not paid subscribers and hear the first 10 minutes of this show.
Yeah, probably not. But, I mean, last week's Monday was free, so she definitely at least knows that one of her kids' dad went to rehab.
True.
Yeah.
Well, it all makes sense now.
Why? Like you were acting out.
Were you expecting it to be bad and it wasn't?
No, I mean, I just think if they're telling us that, I know my daughter, right? I mean, there's no way she's just killing it. Like there's just no way. So I think they tell that to every parent. You know.
Then you know what that is? That's a waste of time.
Well,
unless you have something unique and specific.
I will tell you
to my kid, then don't give me some boilerplate message that you're giving to every other parent.
It is cool to
do that in an email.
What they're working on. I like that. I'll tell you something else too. And this is probably because our school it is a public school, but it is kick ass. It's pretty new. It looks like a junior college. I would say her kindergarten classroom is roughly 3 times the size of mine. And the amount of stuff in there is insane. And even this morning, we were packing up her stuff and getting a water bottle. My wife was like, did we have water bottles in kindergarten? I'm like, no, they didn't exist. I don't remember taking a water bottle to school. You know where you got water?
Water fountain.
The fountain.
We had water fountain.
Yeah.
In Rob's case, there may have been 2, but yeah, we always just drank from the water fountain.
Yeah, my kid's school
making Rob out to be like 73 years old.
My kid's school has the deal that they have at the gym where their water fountain, it probably does have a regular water fountain feature, but it's just the hold your bottle underneath thing that fills up vertically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For kindergartners. Like how did we live? My wife was very interested to learn about the fence at football practice water move, where they would just attach that spigot thing to the fence and turn on the water hose, and it had like 8 spouts.
Yeah, there's that.
Like a cow.
I've seen, I mean, it's old school, 70s, 80s, but they had the ladle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, where everybody shares the ladle and drinks out of a freaking metal ladle in a big tub of ice water.
It ain't a damn shower, Kemp. That's what I used to hear a lot because I like to get drenched.
The true case will be Carter. Because if they tell you Carter's a great student.
You're like, all right, where's the bullshit? Lie detector. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that.
Dude, Malcolm gets in school. I'm probably going to be going to parent-teacher meetings at least twice a week.
Yeah. This one was a planned. This was not a result of some nefarious action, but I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it.
He better grow up to be like to own an NFL team or be
well, let me tell you what's
like
not
the
gonna
male
happen.
version of Taylor Swift, so that you can look back at the report cards and the behavior reports. Oh, couldn't pay attention in class clown. He's got to be highly successful. Otherwise, it's a waste of all of this insanity
Yeah.
that we're dealing with.
Yeah, I want
with
my
a highly
kid-
active-minded kid.
Yeah, speaking of, invited the fellas to a little. Rob, you're welcome to come too if you want to come hang out with some 3-year-olds on a Saturday. Skip the brewery. Little kid party tomorrow. The team's coming too. That'll be nice. You guys can see my life. And I can look at Brooks and longingly, not like that,
Weird.
and be impressed with what you get if you spank your kid.
What would your reaction be if I show up with Malcolm tomorrow and I gather everybody around and tell you that I know it's not your birthday, but that I've got a surprise for you, and out of the box is your rehab roommate?
No, I want it out of the cake, all sexy. I think that'd be pretty great. Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's up?
He needs to call me. I know he's getting his phone tomorrow. It seriously is like, I think of him like we're prison boyfriends, but I got out. And I'm like, why are you not contacting me?
Hey, did you get the cigs delivered?
Yeah, and yesterday I shipped vapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you get a thank you card, or did they sign or something? You know that they got them.
Yeah, you don't have to sign. I mean, they when you get mail down there, I can tell you a little bit about this. When you get mail down there, they're supposed to tell you. They don't. You just have to go check every day. And they have to open it and photograph all of it. They have to go through everything.
Mm-hmm.
They'll open unopened packs of cigarettes and,
wow.
and look in there. I'm like, I guess technically you could probably reseal them. So they look at everything. So no, I don't know that nobody took the time to write me a note, but I did ship a carton of Lucky Strikes. And yesterday I next day, which was basically, it's Texas, so it was like $10, $15, 2 vapes for the fellas. Because I have friends there that are like, I'm going to stay as long as my insurance will pay, which is like 60 to 70 days.
Because they need a place to live, or because they need the treatment?
Both.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people go to sober living after that.
Yeah.
Which is, as we called as a kid, a halfway house. Kind of.
I can't believe that in this day and age, rehab people are still smoking Luckies.
They're cheap as fuck.
Is that
I didn't
why?
realize that. I hadn't bought a pack of cigarettes in forever, but when I did, I was a spirit guy.
Yeah, same. Man,
Of
if you're gonna
course. I mean, I
smoke-
only started because of you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I bet it was because of Carter. He looked way
Well,
cooler than I did.
Yeah, well,
smoking.
I was hanging out with cool band guys, and they're like, these are what cool smokers smoke. I'm like, hell yeah.
What douchebags.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm so sorry.
I think a pack of Luckies is like $6. Is that a lot?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't bought cigs in ages.
Yeah, well.
Or like you said.
Yeah, it's the mail, getting mail down there. When I got a letter from TC, I was super excited.
I would have written you, but nobody
Oh,
told me
cool.
where you were. I
Yeah.
swear to God, I would have written you. I've got a stack of postcards
That's like
ready to go.
Like 5% of writing somebody is simply possessing a postcard.
Yeah, I have them. Nobody would tell me where you were. I couldn't get any. This guy and Dan, they don't talk.
Oh, I know.
They really don't say much. So I don't really want to bother them for information.
Yeah. Well,
And Rob's busy. He's editing things and rendering.
he
Always
does.
rendering.
Man's got to render. TC wrote me, and like a paragraph and a half of it were words of encouragement. And I know this is great for you. And then he just, I guess, not knowing that I had CNN and DirecTV, he just ran down the stories he thought I'd need to know about, such as Diddy being arrested and denied bond, and like other political stories. He's like, "Oh, I just need to keep you in the loop."
And he wrote these out? He didn't
Yeah.
just send you like printable version?
No, he just like wrote them out. Like, hey,
printable version pages from the internet?
no, he.
amazing.
Hey, also I don't know if you know, but the Cowboys can't stop the run. He's like,
I'll watch the game.
I'm like, yeah, I had it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had it on, bud.
Yep, 4K.
All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of the Cowboys, let's hop into a little bit of SPORTS. Sports.
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I did think it was interesting on my weekly check of the Cowboys Super Bowl odds. Would anybody like to take a guess at where they rank now? I believe at the beginning of the season they were probably 6th or 7th at worst.
Boy, they're gonna be 20th.
Maybe lower.
What do you think, Danny?
I'd say in the bottom third. Yeah, below 20.
14th best odds.
Okay.
Who's around them?
Let's see here. I did not pull up the full list. They're 24th. Oh, hold on real quick here. Winning the Super Bowl, they're at 24th. But their make the Super Bowl odds are 14th. So, yeah, I guess you guys were technically both right. I don't know. Let's just do this then. You know, one thing that's kind of been sneaking under the radar a little bit because they score 9 points a game and they get 40 hung on them, and Micah does a podcast and Jerry yells at the fan. They're still like an incredibly penalized team.
It's been the case since McCarthy took over.
I know, and one time I went through all of his years in Green Bay, and it wasn't really as bad as you would think. It was all over the place, high, middle, low. They're currently 7th in penalties called against them, and they are they're 7th in pre-snap as well. So,
Well, that's just discipline and coaching, man. That's all coaching.
now you may be thinking, computer, that the Cowboys are simply, the refs in the league are out to get him, because who would possibly want the Dallas Cowboys from a marketing standpoint to succeed? They've committed 47. They've been the beneficiary of 49, which is third most in the NFL.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not getting screwed. They're an undisciplined team. McCarthy is 100% getting fired.
Mid-season?
No. He doesn't see next year, though.
Well, then he would just be walking away without a contract?
Yeah. Well, they can call it that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what happened to Garrett, technically,
Yes.
didn't it? Yeah, and he hung out even after it was announced that they weren't renewing his contract. He's like, well, I guess this is still my job. Frank Grimes-ass head coach.
It's kind of what you guys did.
For a couple days. Yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. I'm very excited to see how they respond after the bye week to that San Francisco game. And who knows? I mean, San Francisco might. I think they're
wobbly, right?
They are, but they're healthier than they've been. They still got Fred Warner. They still got Bosa. Purdy's been playing pretty well of late. They're 1.5 favorites, I think, tomorrow or Sunday against the Chiefs at home.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and I could see them winning that game easily. They're super hungry. They've been beaten in the Super Bowl by them. It's at home. I could see that easily.
Yeah, it was just weird to see the 5-0 Chiefs as underdogs
That over the last 2 to 2.5 weeks, they've been better.
Yeah.
But that 5-0 could easily be 2-3 or 3-2. They've escaped some games. And really, Kelsey's only come on in like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which, of course, allowed everybody to focus on the Travis Kelce celebrity narrative when it was all about Taylor Swift. And somehow he's in like a horror show on FX that they keep pushing me during Aaron Hernandez viewing. It's like one of those weirdo horror shows that FX does. It's like
American horror,
crime, horror, murder. And Travis Kelce's just in it as an actor, not as Travis Kelce.
What was Dak in?
Dude Perfect.
No, he's in some superhero show or movie coming up.
What?
Yeah, I did see a screen still from that, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
No, this wasn't covered on McAfee while you were in.
That's fair. Venom?
I
That
guess.
sounds right.
Tom Hardy?
Yes, I know it was Tom Hardy.
Why?
Because he's the Cowboys quarterback, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to be in Venom.
All right, let's. I don't think.
What if
that's
he's
the
got
word.
De Niro chops and nobody knew?
I highly doubt it.
Is that the show?
Yeah, that's the show with Kelsey right there. Yeah, that's really, really weird. Oh, also on Dak, engaged per John Machota per Dak's Instagram. You guys excited about that?
Doesn't he have other things to be focused on?
Throwing that football through that tire over there?
Mm-hmm.
You would think. No, he's tearing down a house now. He's engaged. I don't know, man.
You had to wait to get to the new contract to buy an engagement ring.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not. I don't dislike the guy. I think he's actually a great dude. I think he's a good leader. He's a very good quarterback.
Says all the right things.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty tired of him.
And
I know Blake's been there already, but I'm kind of over it.
No, but I'm with you. Like, seems like a super good dude. Any interactions we've had with him away from cameras and stuff, like, he's a genuinely good person.
I'm just bored.
I'm just tired of watching him play quarterback for the Cowboys.
I'm bored. And it doesn't help when I watch the rest of the league. I want what they have.
I've talked about this so many times through the years when the Cowboys are going through a stretch like this, that it is really difficult to watch the rest of the league and see what real football looks like.
Have fun Sunday.
It's crazy.
When there's, not just Chiefs-Niners, but even freaking watching Goff and Darnold on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a game of the year. And they play twice. And now it's, neither one of those guys make Dak money. Close, but not Dak money. In Goff's case, close. But, yeah, it's depressing. They're just boring. Everything. They don't have, like, a fun running back. They don't have one of the cool tight ends. Ferg's a good player, but he's basically like Schultz was.
He's kind of taken a step back from last year.
Yeah.
I thought he was great last year.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Something.
For what that's worth.
The only exciting players on their team are basically CD, Micah, and Brandon Aubrey.
And one of those isn't playing at all.
And with all due respect to Brandon Aubrey, he is a kicker. But yeah, it's not just that they're bad, they're also so damn boring.
And Aubrey's only exciting when he's kicking from 54 plus.
Yeah. Which means something has gone wrong.
Right.
Because it means your fourth down isn't close enough to trust your offense. And it means that you're probably, unless it's a game winner, you're chasing something. I don't know. McCarthy's a boring coach. Dak is an extremely boring quarterback. When's the last time you saw him do something really dynamic? He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
I have no idea who their second receiver even is.
That incredibly accurate throw to
Diggs and Bland, maybe I should add them.
That incredibly accurate throw to CD on the right sideline. I can't remember at what point of the game it was, but it was an important play and a perfect pass.
CD dropped? No, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that was
Pittsburgh, maybe?
Maybe that was the week before. I think you're right, Blake. But yeah, he does show some pretty incredible accuracy.
Sure.
At times, but at other times, I feel like receivers are really having to reach back or go up in the air or dig down around their feet to pick up balls. It's not like he's consistently accurate. Maybe it's just when he does make an incredibly accurate throw, it's an important, maybe more important than the other plays are.
Well, I've now settled in on, just like you were just talking about, I don't have a problem anymore saying that he's basically just Kirk Cousins. However, Kirk Cousins plays for a team with Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier in the backfield, and Kyle Pitts at tight end. And Kirk Cousins dances around like a weirdo and wears chains because he thinks it's funny. And it is. Dak ain't doing that. You think they're going to get video of Dak on the team plane with a big iced out gold clock? No. He'll never have fun. I mean, even Kirk was quoting rap lyrics yesterday of, I used to have a teammate, we'd go on the road, would say, walk into your trap, take over your trap. That's a drug dealing reference.
Kirk Cousins.
You think Dak's doing that? Somehow our quarterback is less cool than Kirk Cousins now.
Kirk Cousins meeting Atlanta is like Kip Dynamite meeting LaFonda. You remember when he went all full hip-hop after he met LaFonda? This guy goes to Hotlanta and the ATL, and all of a sudden he's got street cred.
I love it. He got invited to the cookout, and he didn't even really change the way that he acts. He's just like, yeah, this is great.
And he couldn't be – if you watch that show, was it Quarterbacks? It was on Netflix, and they focused on him. There couldn't be a more – vacation Bible school milquetoast white boy than Kirk Cousins, and now look at him.
He threw a football at an exploding box for his gender reveal and put it on Instagram. You know how white that is? And he almost missed, by the way.
Yeah.
But the only thing that Dak does that's not like canned answers, it's dude goddamn perfect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think he's like, I haven't seen any of it, but is he kind of himself with them? Or does he let his a side of his personality out that we're not accustomed to?
It's pretty milquetoast, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty bland?
It's youth group. Our quarterback is a youth group leader.
What happens?
And Kirk Cousins is supposed to be the youth group leader. That's always who he's been. And now we have one. Thought you're from the SEC.
Kirk Cousins.
Thought you were fighting at spring break.
If he gets him to
Not
the
anymore.
playoffs, he might be the leader of the Crips at the end of the season.
I want the Dak that nails chicks out back at ecstasy.
Yeah.
He
What
gets
happened to
sued
him?
over it. I don't want all this.
I wanted to ask you this when you were talking about
He needs some crimes in his life.
Go back to the penis squirt guns.
The penis squirt gun. That was the value of Zeke, because he made Dak fun.
and now Zeke's back and nothing's
No,
changed.
just beaten. Two old guys.
So McCarthy's obviously not coming back. How does Jerry reset this team?
That is
How does
super interesting.
An 82-year-old man that the game has largely passed him by, and a lot of people would say it has probably for the last 10 years. How does he reset this team moving forward that's going to make any of us go, all right, okay, Jerry, that makes sense. I'm moving Mike Zimmer over to HC. Oh, sweet.
I got an idea. How about a pretty hot OC right now, Texas roots, head coaching experience,
Woo.
maybe a guy in the division right now.
Woo. Talking KK?
Let's bring Cliff in here.
There's no chance.
Come on, let's have some fun.
Jerry would never do that,
Let's
right?
have some fun.
And this is something I wanted to talk about today was I don't care if it's week 7 coming up. I want to talk about who their next head coach is. Because it's hard to remember, but when they hired Garrett actually was thought of as like a hot innovator.
True.
And got the interviews with the Ravens and with the Falcons. But the only reason they hired a guy who was considered the hot innovator was because he was part of the family.
Same with Kellen. Part of the family.
Yeah. So they've never gone out and done like a Mike McDaniels, or a, like we were talking about, hiring Ben Johnson or Kevin O'Connell or any of the young Kyle Shanahan even. Matt LaFleur. Those are not the type of guys that Jerry has ever hired before. Ever. Think of it. From Campo to what's his fart?
Chan Gailey.
Chan Gailey, yeah. So if you talk about like looking at the hot names, it's not going to be any of those leading the odds. It's just not.
Which is crazy because we all thought that Jerry would learn from letting Sean Payton go.
Who at the time
Was the hot OC.
Yeah.
I think Jerry is such an obstinate man, and he hears the noise of everybody saying, you got to get somebody young, innovative, a branch off the Shanahan tree. He hears that stuff, and it's almost like Jerry loves to double down so much on his own BS that it feels sometimes that he won't do what is obviously going to make this team better, or at least have them perceived as a team that's trying to do something that's not just some aged method, to double down, almost like it's almost like the hardcore Trump supporters
It's some
that like Trump just because they hate the Dems. They don't really agree with him, but they hate Dems so much. It's like Jerry hates all of people thinking they're smarter than him and know what's best for his team, so he's just going to do this thing.
Yeah, he
just to piss everybody off.
Jerry is the ultimate, like, he owns the fan. Like, the own the libs. I don't care if I like him or not. I'm just doing this to piss you off. I'm doing it to own the libs. I'm doing it to
Thank you for putting it as succinctly as I was trying.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then also just, I think this applies to politics too. Any candidate, really. If you're that fired up about him, it's real hard to later be like, I don't know if you don't want to tell your family you're no longer MAGA. Like, if you were at a rally, you probably got to write it out. Yeah. If you're that into something, you probably got to stick with it. Because you're going to be embarrassed otherwise.
That's kind of the comparison with Jerry. He's got to write out the way he does things, and he wants people to know. Because the thing is, if he hires, What's the guy, Dennis, what's his name? The guy you mentioned before, the Lions offensive coordinator.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to get a job.
Let's say if he hires Ben Johnson, the public is going to look at that. Jerry didn't make that decision.
You're definitely right.
That's not a Jerry move. That's not the way Jerry would do things.
He boxed himself in pretty hard here.
Boy, Jerry's finally listening to Jerry Jr. or Steven, or he's listening to what sports talk radio hosts are saying.
I'll give you a couple names that I think can influence our rooting interest for the rest of the year, because it almost certainly has to be someone who's been an NFL head coach before. Okay. I think if the Buffalo Bills do not make it to the AFC Championship game, I could see them firing Brian Daboll. Or excuse me, 9/11 guy. Yeah, McDermott. I could see them firing McDermott. He gets so much heat up there, and it's like, you just can't win with this guy. You can't win with this guy. Like, you'll only take him so far. Kind of like the Cowboys are with McCarthy right now. You know, they've been in the playoffs so many times, but they falter. He's got a couple of massive clock management fails, including one this year. I could see that one. Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
Because he's probably going to get fired, and all you have to do to sell yourself on that is, what was he supposed to do with Deshaun Watson? Things were fine. You know, they won with Baker. They won with Joe Flacco.
Coach of the year last year.
Coach of the year. It's Deshaun Watson's fault. And the Browns probably shouldn't fire him because they should try to fix their quarterback deal, but they can't. So Stefanski, he's sort of young. He's sort of Shanahan-y. I could see that being an option. He's attractive, which we know that's the only reason they hired Mike McCarthy. Yeah, my wife, he ranks very highly on the Mike or on the coach hot list. Zach Taylor's kind of in that boat. If they have another wasted season with Burrow, maybe that one, because they've made a Super Bowl. You know, he's got a resume. But the funniest thing they could do of all, by far, would be Nick Sirianni.
No. No.
That's the funniest.
Because they are in a world of shit right now over there. And if they fire him and he's out there, I mean, it's not the craziest thing ever to imagine. Again, a guy who's been to a Super Bowl. Because I seriously doubt they're going to hire even Kingsbury, like hot coordinator guy.
Nope.
I seriously doubt that.
Jerry can't handle that.
No. So
because it won't look like a Jerry move, and it'll be questioned and debated, and it'll just sound weird coming from Jerry. We wanted to play some wild fucking football.
Now, who else is out there
He's not gonna
that's not coaching? Belichick is the only one I could think of when I was thinking about this morning. Your extreme dark horse is Jason Witten.
Yeah.
It seems insane because it is, but the Colts just last year made Jeff Saturday their interim head coach, just taking him from the TV booth or studio because he was a legend and people thought he could be a coach. Now, the thing with Witten is, I'm pretty sure his youngest is only like in 10th grade this year, and he coaches a team. And I do think he wants to be more than a high school football coach at a private school when his kids are done playing for him. So maybe too quick, but if it were any team other than the Cowboys, the Colts, maybe the Redskins under Dan Snyder, I would throw that out. But I wouldn't completely dismiss that.
It checks the Jerry boxes.
Oh yeah, he's family, big tough guy. I don't know. It ain't gonna be McCarthy though.
No.
It's almost no chance. They don't have a good enough excuse. It's not a Dak injury year yet.
Yeah.
And even if it is, they were screwed. Let's say he gets injured against San Francisco. Well, they already sucked. So that won't play anymore. You got to have Dak out for like the whole year when you're 3-1 or something like that. It won't work. All right. So just a reminder, we will have a stream that Sunday night game, little 49er Cowboy action. I want to play something from Mavs land for you. We have 6 days until the Mavs tip their regular season. I'm getting super fired up. They had a preseason game last night. Clay hit 3 threes in a row, Blake.
I saw one
One
wild
was
ass one where he
yeah.
was falling out of bounds.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. They also have I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Najee Marshall.
Yeah. No. I don't know him. I'm talking about the 7'5" center.
The Mavs?
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough preseason.
His name. Yeah, it's Sharp, right? Yeah, Jamarian Sharp from Ole Miss is 7'5". He well, I'm sure spent most of his time in the developmental league, but he had 3 blocks last night. And the other thing that I saw last night was mid-range, or at least extended away from the basket post-game from Derek Lively. It's going to happen. Dude,
They're
scratching
stretching him out, huh?
the surface. He can shoot threes. But I don't think it'll be that much this year, but he definitely is no longer just a lob threat.
Okay.
Dude, he's going to be an all-star, maybe this year.
I love that.
I think Machine and I were talking about this the other day on a little Mavs thing we're doing. He might be the second best center in the NBA, or excuse me, in the Western Conference this year. He's that good, or can be, and he's so young.
Yeah, I've seen him hit a bunch of trailing threes,
Oh yeah, he can do that.
not just like spotted up in the corner anymore.
Yeah, he could be a problem, and he's such a perfect fit with Luka. So
Is the 7'5" guy just a rail? Is he a skinny dude? Or does he have some-
7'5". Yeah, he's a rail. You guessed the weight at 7'5". 7'5", dude.
How much does he weigh?
235.
Oh, wow. That's just stretch me out.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Pause.
Yeah.
Cuban was on Shaq's podcast recently, and the whole thing's pretty interesting. But I don't want to play him talking about politics. I know he was at like a rally for Kamala last night, which is funny because earlier in the day I saw Mr. Wonderful simping for Trump. Not the wrestler, Kevin O'Leary, I think is his name. I watch a lot of Shark Tank, bud.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Mr. Wonderful?
I don't know who that is.
You don't watch Shark Tank?
I know the Mr. One. Wasn't that like Ric Flair or somebody from?
No, he's a bald guy on Shark Tank.
Okay, I just know the '80s wrestler.
And he's all Trump and Cuban's all Kamala, but behind all that, you have the fact that the Adelson family now owns the team.
Yeah, that's a weird handoff, isn't it?
It is a super weird handoff. Miriam Adelson is also, I think, the biggest Trump and GOP donor in the country.
She's up there.
She's way, way up there, and she's serious about it too. She's stoked on Israel to a pretty serious degree.
God, what were you saying about her a month or so ago? She thinks that guys can get pregnant or something.
She told a story about it. Yeah, that she talked to a friend in the medical field, and that a guy was pregnant, which is obviously, yeah. But this will be our first full season of Cuban not really the top dog, the big chief. And Shaq asked him about why he decided to step away. Do I believe him? I don't know. You judge for yourself.
So, Mark, as I asked you this before, 2 questions. 1, why did you sell the team, and do you miss it, if you're allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I sold the team for 2 reasons. One, my kids are 15, 18, and 21 now, right? And it puts a lot of pressure on them as I get older to make a decision. Are they going to run the team? And it's worked out for some families, right? Some guys have got their kids in and it's turned out okay. And others, the kids just hate it, leave it, resentful. And, I don't want to put my kids in that position. And second, I talked about being the tech guy and the media guy and having an edge when I first came in. Like I knew nobody else did. So I always had an edge. And then now, like all the technology, everything, everybody's got access and tech people, and it's hard to get an edge in tech. But so what's happening now, you saw it with Golden State, now with Boston, teams just build. They just build all around the arena, and the arena becomes a central point for some bigger real estate development. I don't know about that. And so for me to say, okay, I'm going to put up $1 billion, even if I had to borrow it or whatever, and bring in a partner to run that for me, I'm like, that's a big risk, and I didn't want to put myself in that position of having to learn a whole nother industry or trust somebody. I mean, 100 people will come in and say, I'll do it for you, and I know what I'm doing, and I can do all that. But I just didn't want to be in that position of not knowing and being able to control my own destiny. So those were the 2 things. And in terms of do I miss it?
Okay, I believe him on the second one. On the first one, I'm not so sure. God, it's for the children. It's just for the children. I mean, if they don't want to do it, just don't do it.
Yeah, then just sell at the very end.
Yeah. Or you just talk to your kids about it and say, like, I legit do not care if you do this or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then if they decide they don't want to do it, who cares? If they decide they do, they can get out when they want. I mean, he's like saying there'd be pressure on him. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay.
But the second one, though, the way that this is all heading and the way that it looks like they want to do with the Mavs now, I could see him being like, I don't want to be in that game. However, way before the Adelsons were in here, he was talking about building a new arena that was going to be like a hotel. And the arena might be on the top floor. And
essentially creating infrastructure for what they hope to be impending legal gambling.
I feel like he's talked about that before. So I don't know what changed. Now, he definitely doesn't have the background of doing it like the Adelsons do, as they own the Sands. I think it's the Sands. But he's talked about, I mean, even when they first came to Victory, the plan was to make it this place to see and be seen. Like, you couldn't get a sandwich or a coffee, but you could buy like $800 jeans with fleur de lis, like diamond encrusted on the butt.
Yeah.
That was part of the idea. It was like, this is going to be the new downtown Dallas. So I don't know. It's weird for me to hear him say he just doesn't want to be involved in that aspect of organizational development.
Yeah, geographically, what is the name of that street that dead ends into the arena that intersects or tees with Nowitzki Way that we would always part? Is it Victory Way or something like that?
Yeah.
That's not a good geographical spot to try to recreate Rodeo Drive.
No.
Leave that to the shops at Highland Park.
Yeah.
That's where that belongs. It doesn't need to be in downtown Dallas.
Well, because what's going to happen?
And now you've got Chipotle and Subway.
Right.
And okay, that makes sense.
I mean, what's probably going to happen, and this is really going to chap the ass of sports mayor, but eventually they're just going to build a new arena north, and there's going to be a casino in Frisco, and the Mavericks will just play in Frisco. There's our big boy.
I admit it. I love sports.
He loves them. Man, I've been saying for years.
It's not going to be in downtown.
Since the first time I walked into that place, that I think the Gaylord is a freaking casino.
Yeah, it is.
If you've ever stayed in one of those rooms and you look down to the inner work or the inside of it,
yeah,
down into that huge courtyard, it's like, why? This is built for slot machines.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of there is that Grapevine's kind of old school, but I could still see it now. Texas Live, that is waiting to be a sports book.
Yep. Oh, totally.
It was built to be a sports book.
It looks exactly like a sports book.
And there's 2 hotels right next door.
Mm-hmm.
They will have a casino right there because Arlington's like, fuck it, what are we doing? Let's go. Like
they'll sign up on anything.
Arlington has no qualms about being like, let's do another bid. I don't know. Why don't we put up a slide with with slot machines at the bottom? I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do.
Pool poker.
Yeah, drone races. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But Grapevine's a little more old school. But it's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen in conjunction with the Mavs, and it's probably going to happen in Frisco or Plano or Allen.
What was the whole Irving thing?
Yeah, I mean, they bought the land over by Old Texas Stadium, but I don't know that there'll only be one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them deciding to put the new Mavs Stadium right there unless there is a massive economic improvement package included in it, because that ain't like a
the design district's been rumored for a while, and there is space to create it over there on the kind of a little bit west once you get beyond all of the newer businesses that have become operational in the last decade. But yeah, there is space over there to do it. I mean, that would be ideal if they are going to in fact do it. And if they do, what do you do with the existing spot? Just give it to the Stars?
You already know what I'm going to say.
What?
Paintball.
Oh, God.
Enough.
Jake wants to do paintball. If there's a vacancy sign, he's putting paintballs in his pocket. He's ready.
I mean, he was ready to turn the Como Motel into some
What's up?
obstacle course.
Oh my God.
Pickleball.
He wanted to turn the Como Motel into what? An obstacle course.
Yeah, for paintball.
I'll tell you what, you walk into any one of those rooms and you get a black light, it looks like they've been playing paintball.
Hey-o. All right, you know what we should do next, Blake? How about some mail from viewers like you at home?
Hey, everybody. It's time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
Womp.
I have one for Blake and Danny.
Okay, you want to go first?
How you taking the loss last night?
What, the Saints? Yeah, it's not good.
The hottest team in Dallas?
The Wings?
I wanted to see how many
Stars?
guesses it would take before you guys acknowledged publicly that the Stars started the season 4-0 and that you guessed the Saints and you the Wings before.
Did the Stars play last night?
Yes,
What do
they
you
did.
When you sign up Ottinger for a long-term deal, you're not going to get the guy's best effort. They're just happy for their teammate.
Yeah, well, he was not in goal.
Yeah, celebrating.
Counting.
All right, back to you, Blake.
He was in the Breaking Bad warehouse counting.
Huel.
Well, it's Friday, which means we have a ton of birthdays.
All right.
So we'll try to get through these somewhat quickly.
Or we don't. I don't care.
Or let's just hang out. Dear Trim Gremlin.
Good one. Creative.
I'd like to.
Not super offensive.
No. Yeah.
Man,
I like that.
Dude, I hated the Gremlins.
I mean, it's still not as good as Pussy Man, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Did y'all mess with the Gremlins?
No.
I was scared.
I'd like to wish my old man James a nice 69th birthday. My leaders. Don't you normally read the leaders of the person whose birthday it is?
I don't know. None of this matters.
His leaders are Doug Chashery, Emily Jones, Chappie's Wow, Subway Dan, Blake's vitriol for KB, Drew Bledsoe's recent comments on Romo, and Dan's adult VHS jackpot.
Solid list.
I wanted to ask Dan if former fullback Sam Gash is one of his favorite NFL players. This is from Kevin.
I remember the name Sam Gash. That's a guy you might have forgot about. He is currently... He was a coach, but he's not any longer.
Coach Gash?
Yeah.
Dear Kaiser of the Clit, today is my wife Brittany's Ricky Williams' birthday. Her leaders are the Dumb Zone segment interstitials and the rehab scorpion that stung Jake.
Fuck that guy.
Did you tell that story on your
No,
exclusive?
you can tell it today if you want.
Yeah.
Save it.
No, whatever. Save it.
Here you go.
It's time for a Dumb Zone interstitial. Gotta keep them separated.
She'd love to hear more prepubescent Blake Argyle audio, no puppet and hook 'em from Cam.
So would I, yeah.
Fresh out.
Did you miss that?
We've replayed it since then.
Okay, good.
Quite a lot of it.
Excellent.
So, yeah, it was real early in the morning. What I would typically do is I would get up in the morning. I would lay my clothes out the night before for working out so that when I got up, I could just change super quick in the bathroom and then sneak out without waking Eduardo up. So I would wear flip-flops then. I workout clothes, flip-flops. I'd take my backpack outside, and I would walk up to get coffee. And then usually he was up by like 4:45 or 5. And when I saw the light come on, I would go in the room, and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to put my shoes on, brush my teeth, and walk to the gym. And so I went in one morning. I'd been there probably 2.5 weeks at this point, and there were signs all over the property that were like, look out for snakes. You know, it's a thing. And they actually made you sign a waiver when you got there. You know, there's the normal treatment waivers, and then there was another one that was like, listen, anything that happens to you pursuant to animals or insects, that shit ain't our fault. So keep your eye out. And people were really weirded out by that. They're like, well, why don't you like spray the rooms? Because we were out in the middle of nowhere, dude. Which is another topic that we're going to talk about at some point. Absolutely by design that it was that far out there. Because if you want to leave, you can.
Well, where are you going to go?
But if you AMA, which means leave against medical advice before they've said you completed the program, you are easily, I would say easily a 5-hour walk to the next town.
Oh.
And you are walking down dirt roads. where there are just nothing but farms and there's coyotes everywhere. Coyotes scared of humans, not a big deal.
Well, maybe
but
10 of them?
Yeah.
That are all
a pack.
Like-minded
Yeah.
and organized?
Oh, that's hyena.
Do that again.
I told you.
Amazing.
The hyena. So like if you leave like regular, your family can come get you.
Coyote.
Yeah, he's turning Mexican. Or they'll arrange transportation up to 3 hours away for you. So if you're further than 3 hours, your family can meet you, but they'll get a car. They'll drive you.
Yep.
To meet an Uber or to meet your family. But if you AMA, they walk you to the gate, they put your shit on the other side, and they close it up and lock it. So you're pretty screwed.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of nowhere. So one morning, I see the light come on. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go in and get my stuff. And I took off my flip-flops, put on my socks, picked my shoes up off the ground, put my left shoe on, and then I put my right shoe on, and instantly it felt like I gotten stabbed in my big toe. And I immediately was like, fuck. I'm freaking out. I flung the door open, and I jumped outside, and I was like, literally felt like my foot was on fire. And I started jumping up and down and screaming. And Eddie's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Scorpion!"
Did you see the scorpion?
Yeah, when I threw my shoe off, it knocked it from the toe to the heel, and I could see like this big black scorpion.
How big?
Golly.
Show the camera.
Yeah, let's say this big.
Oh, okay. And it was black?
Yeah, all black.
Wow.
Murdered out scorpion. And so
did it look at you and start singing "Rock You Like a Hurricane"?
Why?
I don't know.
So yeah, I get it. This is a scorpion reference guy over here.
Don't laugh at that shit, Rob.
Yeah, so that was tailor made for Rob. No one else was going to.
Blake's like, what's he saying?
So
what is that old person saying?
So around this time, there was a guy in a room around the corner from us. He would get up pretty early and walk around. He was an older guy, but probably early 60s. And a couple days before that, we had the pond guy fight.
Oh, wow.
And so he heard me out there like yelling, "Mother," and screaming. And he popped her out from around the corner, and he's like, "Man, what happened?" And I was like, "A fucking scorpion." And he's like, "Oh, let's get to nursing." Nursing not open at that point, but they're there.
Yeah.
They're there 24 hours a day.
Let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
Were you screaming because of the pain?
Yeah.
Or were you screaming for the pain combined with the unknown of what could happen next?
It really might have, in the end, in reflection, been more the latter.
Yeah.
It did hurt very bad, but I'm thinking, I have to go to the hospital? Like, do I have to get a
cut
shot?
my toe off?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
do they have anti-venom here?
Right. Is this somebody going to suck it out?
Mm-hmm.
So
I pick who it is.
Auntie and uncle venom. Okay.
Jokes.
So I put my arm around him, and with one foot in a shoe, we hobbled together down to nursing, and they've seen this before. And so they're like, "Oh yeah, but here's another deal. Before we got there, I told this story on IJB, and eventually I'll tell it a little bit more about this guy on the Wednesday pod, but there was a guy there who self-admittedly was a serious tweaker. Like even off of meds, or not meds, off of meth, he was just perma-fried. And he was bipolar. And he would always be everywhere all the time. Like his roommate told me, he's a great roommate. He's never in the room. He rarely came to class. If he did, he would walk in and immediately fall asleep.
Oh my God.
But he didn't sleep like at night. They would have to tell him to like go back at his room at like 2 a.m. So he was always up when I was up. The lodge where you get coffee would open at about 4. He was always in there. He wrote songs. Swear to God, this guy sounded exactly like Sturgill Simpson. He was from Mississippi.
Did they let him have his guitar or no?
There's one there.
Really?
And a keyboard and a mic, which he would definitely use regardless if anybody wanted to hear him singing that at that time or not.
And he was good.
He was a good singer.
The songs sucked though?
They were just songs.
Okay.
Which he would, if he had figured out that you were someone who was not an asshole, which I guess I qualified for, he would come up and tell you, hey, can you listen to what I wrote this morning?
Well, that's nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did
What
it.
else are you going to do? You're there for a month. Go listen to Meth Sturge. Meth Sturge may
Meth Sturge had a great voice. I will give you that.
Hey.
Did it drive you back to drinking?
If they had been available, possibly. But the thing that we talked about with Meth Sturge was his roommate was like, yeah, he's never at home. And I was like, yeah, he's never in the room. And I was like, yeah, man, he always seems like he's just everywhere all the time. And his roommate was like, yeah, he likes to go on what I call quests.
Quests for connection?
I don't know. Like, he just always had his backpack. He was always walking super fast. Where? Who knows? There's only like 4 places to go there. Don't know. But I tell you all this to tell you that as me and the guy were hobbling down to nursing, again, it's dark. It's 4:50. Meth Sturge pops out of nowhere and he goes, oh, ain't no venom, man. It just hurts. And immediately in that moment, I was like, I don't know why, but I 100% believe this guy.
Implicitly.
And then, to your question, my mind was eased to just pain. Like, at that point, I was like, oh, if it just hurts, then that's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. Hey, man, I know venom. It just hurts. And then he just scurried away.
Ran away.
Yeah.
Like a rat.
Yeah, it was just gone. Wow. So I went to nursing, and that's the first thing they said. They were like, there's no venom in these scorpions. It's just a huge pain. They wiped it with.
Well, why does it hurt so effing bad if there's no poison in it?
Maybe I don't know.
Because it stings you.
Okay. But I mean, there's at least poison when you get stung by a wasp or a bee.
I don't know.
And shit, those don't even linger that long.
This one did not. So this is the thing. It says here it does release venom on this website, but whatever reason, they said that there wasn't one there.
Okay.
Containing a variety of toxins, mildly acidic.
That's got to be what it is.
Less than 5% of stings require medical attention. So nursing wipes it with a little thing, and I got like 2 ibuprofen, and it was pretty much completely gone. 25. That's what it looked like. Maybe 25 minutes later, I went and ran.
Could there be a more menacing looking creature? Look at that thing, Blake.
That's what aliens are going to look like.
We're done for.
The no venom? Or that's what it said. Okay, because they said these scorpions down here are specific to Texas and that they're not going to be a problem for you as far as venom. And
where are the bad mofos at?
My guess,
India?
Australia.
Australia?
Maybe everywhere else. But I killed probably 6 or 7 more while I was there. One of them even bigger than the one that stung me.
And where were they? Just in
one of them was walking on like the windowsill outside of our classroom. One of them, because there were a couple of in the classroom, they kept it super fucking cold, which was fine because it was 100 degrees outside.
Yep.
But some people would get really cold in there. There were a few Mexican blankets in the classroom, and people would use them. And one woman like
a lot of people will call those a serape.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One woman picked hers up and tried to put it on, and it just flew out. Like it launched out of her blanket. So I had to take care of that one.
Were you worried? Did you have trouble sleeping that night thinking one was going to crawl under your serape and bite your dick?
I did not, but my roommate was not the same after that. Again, this is a guy who in the first week asked me, swear to God, what's the difference between a snake and a scorpion? And I was like, are you fucking with me, man? And he's like, no, what's the difference? I don't know about animals.
Animals?
That's what he always called them animals. And I was like, dude, you're the best. I don't know how to sell drugs and live in prison. You don't know the difference between a snake and scorpion. Let's go.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Didn't you say he sprayed Lysol on the door frames or something?
Yeah.
I guess that didn't work so well.
So after that, well, no, that was after that. Yeah, the drastic measures, it was like 9/11. Where like after that, it was like, we got to get duct tape on the doors. We're going to level red. So after that, first of all, he would check under his blankets every night because we both made our beds every day. And he would fluff his out and like check everything underneath.
I would too.
Now, what freaked people out was my shoes were in the room. Because some people at first were like, man, I'm going to keep my shoes outside because it's dusty as all get out down there. And if you walked into your shoes every day, your floor we would have to sweep every day because it's like a marble-ish type floor.
Right.
And so my shoes were inside and people were like, no way. Like, how did that? I'm like, dude, they were inside. You not only need to put them in a drawer, you probably need to put them in a high drawer. So I
think you tracked it in somehow?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Fuck no. There's no way. It probably got in through like the little windowsill that was kind of messed up, door jamb.
Yeah.
That was kind of messed up that they replaced. But yes, Eddie, after that, so twice a week you were supposed to clean your room, which took us 10 minutes because we were super clean. But they would bring around like a janitorial cart for each like block of 4 rooms. And it would have 2 Swiffers, another broom, toilet cleaner, Windex, everything you needed. And I swear, dude, I went to get like trash bags or something. And I came back, and he was outside the room with the toilet bowl cleaner, the one you put up underneath there and it has like the little spout.
The bent spout.
He was like coating the whole door like it was caulk on the outside, like he was establishing a perimeter.
What?
And so you walk up to our door and it's like neon blue. Like he just had it all the way around. And then he would take scrubbing bubbles and just layer like a thick coat of white foam all the way to our door from like 5 feet away. And he's like, these motherfuckers, they're not getting in here.
Well, if they do, they're going to be real clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is we would go out in the morning. He'd be like, see? And there'd just be dead bugs all in the trap.
Just because he's lathering your entire room with chemicals.
Yeah.
Right?
We'd have to replace all the cleaning that everybody needed.
You didn't try to like educate him. You just kind of let it happen.
Hell no. He's like, do you think this will work? I'm like, I don't know that it won't.
Yeah.
I think it will, bud.
Yeah, why not?
Keep going.
So yeah, it probably only hurt for about 20 minutes.
It's probably more effective than, I don't know, praying.
I would tend to agree with that. And then that was there's not a whole lot of entertainment there every day. So that was definitely like the talk of the town that day. Yo, did you hear you got bit? Like I would walk up to tables and hear people telling the story.
Hey, bro, did you get bit by a scorpion?
Yeah, like the guy who helped me out, he's like, this motherfucker thought he was dying. I had to help him down. I'm like, all right, this story keeps getting worse.
I love it.
So your nickname was probably Scorpion Man?
No, because I had other nicknames.
Oh.
Do you want those?
Yes.
The one given to me by the guy who was the trainer. He led like rec. He was in recovery. He was super cool. The guy was like a power lifter. He's about my age. I waited until like the 3rd day to do this, 4th day, until I was just like, I don't care what anybody thinks about how I look out here. When I work out, as Blake knows, I wear tights underneath my athletic shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it. I mean, it's the same as wearing compression shorts, but I like them going down to my calf. When I stretch, I don't like my legs being on the ground.
You're trying to look like Luka.
Once I started wearing them, I'm never going back. Because I used to work out at a place that we would be on the ground on turf a lot, and I just liked it better. It feels smoother. I just like it. And it's a douchebag thing for sure, but I can't do it without them now. And so I broke those out on like day 4, maybe day 5 was our first time in the gym together, and he was like, "Oh, who called Sporty Spice?"
Hell yeah.
So that guy called me Sporty Spice.
Uh-huh.
My original roommate, who was from Gonzales, and he was 50, 51. He had done 10 to 12 years. He's a Mexican guy, huge beard, shaved head, really into metal, played bass in a lot of metal bands. One time I walked over to him and he's like, "Hey, do you remember you remember Brooke Shields?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he had another point that he was going to bring up, but I was like, "Yeah, she used to be married, I think, to a tennis player. I can't remember his name." Yeah, I couldn't at first. But Dan had just read Andre Agassi's biography in the last couple of years. So I was like, "Yeah, I think she was married to like a tennis player." And I think he got real mad when she kissed a guy on some show that she was on because he was on set and he got real pissed off. He was like, "Yo, that was Friends." He's like, "I love that show." He's like, "I remember that episode, arc." I was like, "Man, I can't remember the name of the tennis player." And he's like, "Come on, man. You know. It's a famous tennis player." Now we're getting into "You're white." And I was like, "Oh, shit. It was Andre Agassi." I was like, he was actually a big-time addict. And he was like, from there it was, and I knew you'd know that, tennis. And from then on, he only called me Andre. And if he would see me from like 30 yards away, he would yell, and he would do like a forehand motion, and he would yell, "Tennis, anyone?" He was just like he just assumed white guy.
Yeah.
This guy plays tennis and golf.
He grew up at a country
That is
club.
so racist.
Yeah, I know.
I love it though. I love that
and
you got
it
nicknames.
took
from,
me a couple weeks, but I started using it. I started using things back on him.
I love that the ball
I made
breaking
some
starts immediately.
Yeah, I made some lawn comments.
What?
I made some lawn comments.
Oh, you were able to cross that line and
Once
it was cool?
with him, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he was the first. He broke the seal.
Yeah.
He broke the seal on the racism.
Yeah, he did.
You just don't want to. You don't want to like overhit. You know, you don't want to like hit punch too hard when you try to dip your toes back into that. Once you feel like it's okay.
Well, what happened was once he made fun of me and he had made fun of himself enough to where I was okay with it, because one day we were walking somewhere and their grounds crew, whoever they hired to take care of the property, was there, and like they were off for a minute. There was like a riding lawnmower and a blower that were running, but no one was on them. And we were walking, and he just looked at it, and he's like, "Man, it'd be calling me."
He sounds awesome.
He was great, too. He was my first roommate. All right, sorry.
Andre and Sporty Spice. Those
yes.
were the only two?
I think so.
You couldn't get Scorpion to stick.
No.
Hey, man, be careful. He's the Scorpion. He's also good at fucking tennis, man. For real.
All right,
Great dude.
Let's speed through these.
Sorry, my man.
So we can get
That
to
was
picks. Dear Gash Pulverizer, I would like to wish O.J. Simpson plus Patrick Mahomes' birthday to our biggest Bridgeport Fantasy Football League Commissioner Derek. His leaders are Jake and TC. In our group text, more Will, Zane, Tadpole, Les, Taylor, and Davey. Go Sissies, Alan from Bridgeport.
All right. Happy 47th.
Greetings, boys. Today is my 51st birthday. Reversing the stupid bit, who can name a jersey for that? 51.
Ken Norton. No, was he 54?
No, Norton was 51, I'm pretty sure.
Let's just go with Ichiro.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
More Dutch. Maybe a joke off with Heart Attack Man. This is from Mark Brasher.
Yeah, 51.
Dan. Just Dan. I'd like to wish my husband, Danny Jeans, a happy 43rd
The
birthday.
great Danny Jeans.
Yes.
We lived in the same house like 4 years apart in college.
His leaders are the Little Room in 421 Lindsay. Was that it?
Yes.
Okay, the Little Room.
There was a murder there.
And Pond Man. He would like to congratulate Jake
Hey, thanks, DJ.
on being a huge bitch for giving up booze.
Walked right into that one, didn't I,
He
folks?
says rehab sounds fun, kind of like a combat deployment with a slightly smaller chance of getting shot. More Jordan Lewis, less Sarah Hepola. This from Brittany Jeans.
Have you noticed the trend of less Sarah Hepola?
Yeah, if you're not pro Sarah,
yeah.
people will let you know about it.
Really funny. By the way, I got to say, the way you describe rehab, it sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, I mean, once you get past like you're not with your family,
It's like summer
you feel
camp
guilty
with
about
just this
it.
cast of weirdos.
I mean, honestly,
would have
dude,
such a good time there.
Once you embrace it and you're like, look, I'm not going home, and I can't choose what I want to eat, and I got to go to these classes all day. But after
work
that,
out every day. There's no kids around screaming at you.
And
No
it's not
wife.
it's not a 3-day thing. Like you gotta
Right.
hunker in. You're there.
yeah,
Read books.
yeah,
You don't have to.
I read
this
like a
is
beast.
not a part of anything.
That part's pretty great.
Oh
I'm
my
trying
God,
to work
get
in a
to watch
few
the
hours on the
Cowboys.
weekend. Yeah,
And Pat McAfee. Or
yeah,
whatever
dude.
his
I mean,
name
it
is.
just you really can have it all.
What a life, man. What a life.
Hi, Dan, non-practicing alcoholic Jake, and gay Blake. DF 5050 here. Today is my Harry S. Truman birthday. Thanks for reading my dog's birthday back in May. He loved it. Keep it up. Brett Katz. Hey, Blake, since Captain Clit Sniffer is in Cleveland banging hot moms, I thought I'd email you for a birthday shout-out. Saturday is my big 3-0. I don't have much, but I want to get Jake's opinion on my oldest son's name.
It's probably not great, my guy, but it's me.
Waylon Dallas.
That's fucking fantastic.
That's pretty badass.
Waylon Dallas.
That's yeah.
What's his last name?
Take a bow.
It better not be like Schwartz. That won't work.
No, it's got to be
like Nelson or Parker.
Yeah, Nelson would be a good one. Willis, Waylon Dallas Willis.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell
Hey,
Jake
you going to go see Dub-D-Dub tonight?
Hell yeah, dude.
I've been on Dub-D-Dub, Waylon Dallas Willis.
Hell, I like him better than the other Waylon.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell Jake how brave he is. Keep doing what you're doing, Playboys. P.S. More pissed off Blake and just the right amount of Sarah Hepler the last few months.
Okay.
Which has
This
been
is
0.
none, yeah.
She's going to be on the show soon.
That's from Corbin.
Why is she so polarizing?
I don't
Can
know.
I tell you I was on top?
Because she was a woman, or is.
Guten Tag, Fur of the Fur Burger. Sunday is
Führer of the Fur
Führer
Burger.
of the Fur Burger. Sunday is the Shaq birthday of Columbus, Ohio. Dumb F. Zach West. He's a big fan of the highly rated show The Boys and being disappointed by the Cowboys. That from Alec Fuchs. And finally,
Fuchs.
Dear Uncle California Roll Stop. On yesterday's show, Jake shared the news about selling his lake house. Will the Dumb Zone do a show from the backyard where the all-you-can-eat buffet took place? R.I.P. OJ gone too soon.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't know. We can. It's not
should.
far away. You and Dan can kind of recreate it for the calendar photos.
Sure. There's your mail.
Now I hand it to our historian, a professor. You're actually a professor,
Yep.
right? Where are you a professor?
I don't think the school wants me associated with the nonsense I'm talking here.
That's fair.
So
Okay.
I mean, you can find
Sure.
it out on the internet
With
if you
Jake,
want. But
Jake
yeah.
talking about rubbing one out. And,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Rob.
Well, wait, now I get an okay, and you started the show with...
That was him.
You out loud
he was
said, what are you
talking-
going to jack off on me?
Why does he
Fair.
get the cool voice?
I don't know. Yeah. Like
Fake Blake is always like,
Well, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, that's right.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Hiya, champ. How's it going?
Well, I gotta eat, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Come on, let's work on your crossover dribble.
Nope, puppet.
All right, you're getting a little too. You're feeling yourself a little.
Nope. Puppet.
Okay, fantastic, just fantastic. The way things are looking, we might have to talk Aaron Hernandez Monday, Danny.
That's fine.
You threw a
needed-
scorpion.
We needed an hour of scorpion bite talk.
Hey, listen, man. It's the only time it's ever happened to me, and I hope it is the only time that it ever happens to me. Right now, it is Friday, which means it's time for us to pick some games with our friends. Maybe, although Rob is on the phone, so we may have somebody screwing up on their end.
I wonder who it could be.
Yeah. Do you want me to vamp? Are you sure? Because I got other stuff. Guilty as charged with the stuff. All right, let's go first to...
You want to kill time with this?
What's up, fellas? If you suffer from a wispy flavor saver and look like an 8th grade boy, when in fact you a grown-ass man and you desperately want to get hot love from some sweet baddies, pimping a dope stash like vintage
can't
Burt
hear
Reynolds on
anything.
Cialis, but the only thing holding you back is that sad caterpillar on your upper lip, then smear some Larry Bird's mustache fertilizer on your
I love
face
this one.
and watch the love grass grow. Get some ass this weekend by going to Larry Bird's mustachefertilizer.crap/Larry and get free shipping. Larry Bird's Mustache Fertilizer. Let's get it on.
Remember that, Mikey?
That's a sponsor of today's show.
Yep.
I do. Amazing.
Speaking of, there he is, Mike Soroy. Where is he? Who knows?
Hi.
Who knows?
Hi.
What's going on,
Retirement. Treating me well.
man? You snowbirding?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, Dan, I can hear you.
This is...
Should we just power through?
Oh, if not if we can't hear Dan. It's going great, Mike. How are you? Now we can't hear Mike.
I don't know if we can hear
There you
Dan.
go.
Let's do an audio check with Dan.
We can hear Mike Soroy.
Speak up. You have to speak at like double volume, Dan, for the rest of the segment. I think it'll work.
I can hear Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Unfortunately. Hey, why is there a llama behind you, Mike Soroy?
Hello?
There's Dan.
Can you hear me?
That back there?
Yes.
We can hear Dan.
Why did we all hook up during the break if we weren't going to check this?
There he is.
He's here.
There he is.
Okay, so let me go back to what I was already talking about. Blake, great choice on the spot that we've already heard 7 times. I'm sure people will really enjoy hearing it in an 8th.
He's there. He is.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We have 5 of it. Danny made like 5 of them, and that's the only one you want to
So
play.
they've got they've got
play 'em
Pornhub in
all.
Ohio. Why don't you just
fall only to the
take the edge off and chill out?
Here they are all at the same time.
Dude, I'll tell you what, the hub is up and flying.
Ready to feast on some holiday.
Oh my God.
You're
Dan
not
asked
trapped
for
on
it.
Thanks, Blake.
You're not trapped on X videos like us down here in Texas.
No, man, they will put up a thing that asks if I'm 18. And I'm like,
Everybody's aggressive. Does everybody need to pause and knock one out, or what's going on?
What does that mean?
Dan's just
knock one out.
I don't know what Dan's deal is right now. He's in a very nice hotel room. He's going to get to see Rose. He can watch any star he wants.
Do you guys like my because I just went to the grocery store, took a little walk trying to get my steps in. Do you guys like my Goodnight Gorilla ode?
I've never read it.
He's got a banana behind him.
Oh, there it
dude.
is.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
There's always a banana on every page. You got to find it. The kid loves finding it. And
All right,
then,
up next, it's my dad, Chappie.
That particular banana, 24 cents at the grocery store, buying one banana, 24 cents.
Was it supposed to be less?
Usually around 45 cents a pound.
I don't know. I mean, it's a quarter for a thing that could basically be a meal.
It's pretty good.
I think we should put tariffs on them. Whatever that means. Hey, Dad, how are you?
Good. Hello, son.
Hello.
Nice haircut.
Will this be the last time?
Okay.
Hey, thank you, sir. Will this be the last time you join us from your current residence?
Next to last.
Next
to last.
Penultimate.
Next. You know, I had a funny story about that. I got the keys to my rental.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got the keys to my rental, which is 3 miles away, but I'm not spending the first night there for 2 weeks. So the first day I met my neighbor next door and thought it went pretty good. And the next day I pull up and the person across the street, I went to introduce myself and they said, "Oh, we know all about you." The neighbors were texting. And I said, "Oh, really? That must not be too good." I don't know what they were texting about, but apparently she must have thought I was nice. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Damn. Hey now. Look at that. I mean, obviously we're talking about a lady, right? The neighbor you met the first day?
Yeah. The
I know
neighbor
you.
on one side of me is 87, and I thought he was about 50. I mean, he looked like Jack LaLanne starter kit. I mean, he was that buff. Yeah, he was like, but man, it's 4 months of an adjustment for sure.
Did you? So the other woman, the other person was a female, I assume. Did you kind of approach her like you would recently with women at the gym? My dad was like, "Man, I just have a lot of friends at the gym." I'm like, "Huh, really?"
Well, I mean, her husband was standing over there in the garage, so I kind of had to dial it down a little bit. But yeah, I certainly had the same thought process.
At least you went into it dialed up.
Yeah, it's always dialed. Yeah, go ahead.
Blake, my face is frozen again. I refuse to run. I mean, come on.
Anyways.
Come on, man.
All right, so how do we do this, Dan? You want to run it or you want me to?
It's a pleasant expression.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't prepared to run it, but I am prepared with my picks and everything.
Okay, well, I believe you would, of course, be going first because after last week in the regular in totality win percentage column, we got Akash number 1, Soroy just a couple games behind there, Pops a couple games from there, Jasmine a couple games from there, me a couple games from there, Blake 1 below that at 12 and 18, and of course Dan inverse from Akash's 21-9 record is 9 and 21. He is
It's incredible.
3 and 15 on triple plays. Far and away the worst on triple plays. Yeah, it's not really even close. Blake, for his part, remains 0-6 picking or winless, 0-6 picking Cowboy games.
Well, good thing we don't have to pick one this week.
All right.
So In place of a Cowboy game this weekend, apparently my dad can make the rules. That will be Georgia at Texas, Texas laying 5.
I love this pivot. I was all about it.
Nobody
so
asked.
Thank you, Chappie. Okay,
Thank
I don't
you.
give a shit. I'm just going to offer it up.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Chappie.
I just was I was hanging around yesterday and I thought, well, no Cowboy game. What's a big national interest? How about the dogs and the horns?
Brilliant.
I didn't see anything wrong with that, but I guess I needed to clear that.
Evidently.
All right. Let's see here. Dan, you want to just go ahead and go, and then we'll maybe get some updates on where you are afterward.
You're saying worst goes first?
Yeah.
That's terrible, man. A great slate of games this weekend, friends.
It really is.
A great slate of game. You got Detroit at Minnesota, KC at San Francisco, Baltimore at Baker. You're giving Baker 3.5 at home? Insane.
You know what I was thinking about with Sunday? We were just talking about how excited I am for Lions-Vikings and how fun both of their offenses and their defenses are, and they do all this cool, weird shit. And the fact that right now Sam Darnold and Jared Goff are both infinitely more interesting than Dak.
Yes. Like, what happened? Where are
Would you trade Dak for Sam Darnold today?
Yes, 1,000%. Yes, I would. I would. Yes.
But
everything.
But I'd probably trade him for Kirk Cousins just because they're the same player, and Kirk wears chains and stuff.
Yeah, but the problem with that is neither one of those would do the reciprocal.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but does it worry you that Dak got engaged today?
She can say it.
No, he's glowing.
No, that means we're fucked, man. Now he's engaged.
I mean,
It's
we
game
talked.
over.
This is what we
His
just
focus
talked about.
is all over the place.
Yeah, dude, perfect, knocking down a house. I want his focus on. I want back the Dak, like I said before, who got knocked out at spring break for partying too hard. He was nailing chicks in the back of a strip club. He had the penis water gun.
Alleged.
That's the guy. No, I mean, he definitely admitted to the actual sex. It was just alleged that it was non-consensual. That's the guy I want. I want Mississippi State Dak back. I don't need this Frisco shit.
I mean, look what happened to Baker. He was getting blowjos at Cheesecake Factory, and then he reinvented himself in Tampa Bay. Like, come on.
Yeah, wide receiver, you want him wheels off, but at quarterback, you want him married. I want them head buried in their Bible. I want them religious and married.
Yeah, well, he's doing that. He is like I said again, he is the youth minister quarterback, but a cool one who has earrings and leg
he's
tats.
a cooler Russell Wilson.
And I'm tired of him. I'm tired of it. But yeah, Dan, big slate.
One game that I'll be at this weekend looks kind of tasty.
Does it?
The Browns are getting 5.5 at home against Cincinnati.
Please do it.
Drop it.
But I want to enjoy my Sunday at the game, so I'm not going to do that one. What I am going to do, let me just give you my Chappie's pick. Chappie wanted. Oh, his camera's back working. That's great.
Yeah.
It's Texas -5.
Yeah.
4.5. 4.5.
We're gonna do 5 just because
now?
it's sent.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's 5. All right.
Okay, on the little sheet that you sent. I'm gonna go with Ugga over Beefy.
Whoa.
Just to at least cover. I just don't think Texas is gonna win that big. I think Georgia's used to these games. Texas is like all of us. Oh, now people are gonna be watching us. Okay, all right. I'm sure Georgia won't be ready. So give me the Bulldog. I will do my knockout pick, although I'm very bad at those. I think I did Philly for the second time last week. Hey, how's our knockout league, Blake?
Down to 3.
3 guys.
Yeah.
Out of?
I'm assuming they're guys. There's no way there's a girl.
Women
Correct.
can't pick sporting games.
Well, you just called them sporting games, so.
So what?
It's not great. Not a great start for the male team.
So I think I violated the spirit of the game last week. I would say just give me a loss, but I probably lost it anyway because I picked Philly for the second time this year. You're supposed to pick a different team every week, and
You lost.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it did Philly lose anyway? Okay, well,
No.
good.
The
No,
Bucks,
beat the Browns.
The Browns were getting what?
This is knockout.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is-
Yeah. Okay,
That was my
bad.
knockout pick. So if you
Sorry.
want to give me a loss, just make it worse. I don't care, because I'll still come back, Chappie. I'm going to give you a Chappie vow that I will finish 500. But for my knockout pick this week, give me Washington. That's the biggest spread, and I just think Washington, Pat, will defeat Carolina at home. And for my triple play, I am looking at possibly, I don't know if it would be Joe Shane's last game, but it's going to be, you'll look at this game as to one of the reasons they ran Joe Shane at the end of the year. Remember when the owner was walking in his office saying, man, just don't let him go to Philadelphia?
That would really kill me
he
to
went-
see Saquon in an Eagles uniform.
He went to Philadelphia. It's the Eagles. I know they are 4-14. Excuse me, they're 4-10 in their last 14 games. You realize that, Chappie? I bet you do. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Let's just keep going, please, Dan. It's Friday.
They've got a ton of injuries. The Giants do. It's only a 3-point spread. Give me Saquon, revenge game. Philly to win by over 3 points. My triple play.
Okay, fantastic. Who is up next?
That would be
Blake?
me. I'll make this quick. Give me Texas -5. Playing at home, a lot of firepower. Good win against OU. I think they'll keep it rolling.
Yeah, OU's pretty good.
For my triple play, can you mute Dan, please? Thank you. Triple play, I'll take the Jets -1. Russell Wilson is back. If that gives you any confidence in the Steelers.
Is it supposed to?
And the Jets just traded for Aaron Rodgers' butt buddy. They got Devontae Adams now. They're going to play really hard. They're only getting 1 point against Pittsburgh. Let me go the Jets. And then knockout, I'm going to take the Bills because they're playing one of the worst teams in the league in the Tennessee Titans. The Bills are at home. They're going to roll. Give me the Bills and knockout.
Okay, I will take Georgia and the 5 for my Chappie pick. For my triple play, actually, let me do my knockout first. I'm going to take the Eagles over the Giants for my knockout. I'm 1-0 on those as far as the picks I've made. The triple,
Hey, Jake, happy Sober October.
I swear to God, dude.
I have a friend that's doing that. I ran into him yesterday. So.
Oh, just 1 month, huh? That's cool. It sounds super tough.
What a dick.
You have no idea. You have
Yes,
no
I
idea.
do.
What,
Yes,
how
I
hard
do.
it is to stay sober, or what a
Wait, who's
Dan
a dick?
is.
Me? I'm a dick?
It's hard to do whenever your friends make your entire existence a bit.
We're just proud of how brave you are.
You see?
Just then.
No one else has to deal with this.
Oh, I think, Dan, he's mad because we didn't wish him a happy 37 days sober.
Dude, Dad, can you not do something about this? Like, stick up for your boy or something? Like, they're bullying me.
Oh, I thought my screen was still stuck. I'm sorry.
All right. My triple
Why
play.
don't you leave? Come on, leave the dude alone. Half of you here need to do it. I mean, don't kid yourself. Don't you kid yourself. You hiding behind that Halloween costume.
That's a good
All
daddy
right,
there.
that
That's a
works.
damn
So
good daddy.
for my triple play, so that I can make Sunday angry for Dan, I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to triple play the Bengals at the Cleveland Sweet Stadium. Now, if they go to Jameis before Sunday, I will regret this. Because once they go to Jameis, I'm all in.
What's that line you're working with? Is that
Bengals
4.5?
5.5. How many games apart are we?
4.
If I was to
4.
if I was to pivot here,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the Browns, we would be.
would that
We'd be.
my-
Yeah, very close.
My real goal is just to defeat you at the end of the year. Would
I
you
know.
guys let me pivot?
Yes.
All right. Give me the Browns triple play.
Yes.
Against Jake.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and you know the other thing too, Dan.
I was on the cusp of doing that one.
I'm going to just kind of tell you everything we talked about earlier. So McCarthy's going to get fired, right? Or his contract won't be renewed. They'll never hire some hot shit young coordinator. It has to be someone who's been in the NFL before.
Like Freddie Kitchens.
It won't be Freddie Kitchens. But if this thing continues to go the way that it's going for Cleveland, they will fire Stefanski as a scapegoat for Jameis. Because they have to stay with Jameis. Stefanski, good-looking dude, little Shanahan to him.
Deshaun.
Excuse me, scapegoat for Deshaun. Yeah. I know that not all people of races look the same.
Wow, what are you trying to say, Jake? Jesus.
Stefanski, Coach of the Year, got to the playoffs with Flacco.
Two-time? Might be two-time Coach of the Year.
Stefanski's a strong play for the Cowboys next year.
That's interesting. You know, Chubb's back this weekend. You probably didn't know that when you were looking at.
No, I saw it, but he was crying at his press conference, like, "Oh, he's back!" Like he was a little Special Olympics or Make-A-Wish kid. Okay.
What a terrible last name.
Or is it the best?
I don't know.
He's still got Watson touching. He's still got Watson touching the ball every single snap.
Good point.
That ain't good.
Okay, so there we go. Up next is it
Jasmine?
Jisman?
Me, yes.
Yes, Jisman.
Whatever you want to call it. Yes.
Jizman.
Oh, geez, I've never fucking heard that before.
Hey, blow me up, dog. You're up.
Take your time.
Wow, what a smooth transition, Dan. Okay, so my hat, Zavala's Barbecue, shout out.
Oh, nice.
Pull up, as it says. I was there yesterday. They are big fans of the Dumb Zone.
Good peoples.
Great peoples. Well, they want you to come down to the corner of Main Street and Brisket Street and have some food.
Let's do it.
Okay. The date. I'm sure you'll get a hat and more. They also have all kinds of rubs and sauces and shit. So.
Where you just say, I'm sure you'll get a hat and more, and follow it with, they have all kinds of rubs.
Yep.
I got pretty excited there for a minute.
And sauces.
Hat and rubs. And a free Lone Star while you're waiting in line to get your food.
How about that? Let's
Shout
do
out
it.
Lone Star. Okay, let's do it. All right, speaking of Lone Star, the Lone Star State. Give me Texas. Their defense has been playing balls out so far, as we all know, because, yes, the nation has been watching, Dan. Georgia is probably the most legit offense they've probably faced so far. Gonna go out on a limb, obviously, and say that, but Longhorns look well-rounded, and I feel like to bet against Texas is to bet against the fine folks of Southlake, Dan, and basically call.
That's right. Yeah, because what says Texas like Southlake?
Yeah.
Oh, give me Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns -5 against Georgia. My lock triple play of the week. Give me, this is such a stretch, UConn -1.5. Over the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I cannot believe I'm even giving a shit about UConn Wake Forest outside of March Madness basketball, but here we are. So give me that. And then my knockout, I'm with Dan. Give me Commanders over the Panthers. I mean, fuck it, Washington. Y'all run the East, so go get after it.
Doesn't it suck how it's almost like you begrudgingly want to root for the Commanders?
Yes.
Because Dan Quinn's all cool and Jaden Daniels is all cool, and you don't have to look at Dan Snyder anymore, and
yep.
They're
Plus,
running
they
back.
don't have that offensive name anymore.
Yes, you were always wanting to hop on the Washington bandwagon, but your first people heritage wouldn't allow you to do so. The running back got shot and then told us about it. Okay, so thank you, Jasmine. Up next.
You are so welcome.
Hey, Pops.
Hey there. Okay. All righty. Good deal, man.
Yeah.
I was trying to pitch you up. I'm gonna take Georgia +5.
Yes, sir.
I think Kirby Smart. He's already been, one loss against Alabama. For them, they can't afford another loss. Maybe you could in a 12 team system, but the only thing that concerns me about that is there's been a lot of plug and play on Georgia's front offensive line. But they have been throwing the ball more vertical. That's going to be a heck of a game. But I don't know who said it earlier. I just don't think the Horns will cover 5. So I'm gonna take the Dogs +5. My knockout is the Commanders. I suck at this as well. I'm like 1-4, just losing easy points. But I'm gonna take the Commanders against the Panthers. And then for my triple play, it's going to have to go all the way into Monday night. I'm going to take the Chargers -1. The Chargers -1 on the road against the Cardinals. And if you take a look at the Chargers, they are actually just morphed into Harbaugh's Michigan team last year. They are pounding the rock. They ran it 30 times last week. Herbert got hurt 3 weeks ago, and then they had a bye. You know, when they played Pittsburgh, he was hurt. That's their last loss. Last week, they were ahead of Denver 23-0 in the third quarter before they called the Dogs off. So I'll leave you with this. The Cardinals' defense is 29th in the league. 29th. Let that soak in just a minute. The Chargers' defense is third. The Chargers have the third defense in the league. So, with all that being said, I think the Chargers will run it. They'll pound it. They'll run it. And Herbert will start slinging it. And 1 point is, I don't know. I guess I might be missing something, but I'll easily give you 1 point against the Cardinals. So that's my triple play of the week.
All right. Shale,
Yo,
take us home.
I need a second. I'm still letting that Cardinals defensive statistics soak in.
Take your time, seriously.
Jesus.
I know it's a lot.
Oh, that wouldn't faze me in the least. Trust me.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Did you process it?
Yeah. Now I'm good. I'm good. I'm reassessing everything. I'll be honest. Look, I don't fear Akash Singh. I do fear Chappie. It's going to come down to he and I. But he sounds distracted, possibly because his new neighbor's getting her head stuck in the dryer every couple of days. And he to go over there and help out. So not concerned this week. All right. For the big event down in Austin, I'm going to take Lando Norris to win, Charles Leclerc in second, and I will take Oscar Piastri in third.
Yeah, hey, here's a guy
who
who knows a few F1 names, and because he's got his race car video game.
Not on the podium.
Hey, dude, I did see a very funny.
Literally, right.
God damn it!
I did see a very funny tweet. There was something to the effect of the SEC is playing dirty by having Georgia play in Austin the same weekend Austin has a road race. As you might recall, Georgia staff member was killed in a racing incident while who's the dude that got drafted? But Jordan Davis, right?
Yes.
From the Eagles was racing him and left the scene. Maybe it was only funny to me. That's fine.
In the game, the football game.
Yeah.
I'm team Georgia +5. This is in 50 games, Georgia has not been an underdog. Like, I think 49, this is the 50th that they've literally not gotten points. So if you're going to give them 5 points against Texas, who actually has 6 straight
free money
against the spread losses against top 5 teams when they're a favorite, I don't, look, this is a new Texas team. I agree, balanced as hell and like scary, but I don't care. If you're going to give me 5 points, I'm taking Georgia absolutely. For my welcome back Jake Kemp triple play lock of the week, I will take Green Bay. They're at home. I think it's 2.5. Is that? Pretty sure it is 2.5.
3. Got it, -3.
All right, that's fine. I'll take Green Bay -3. Well, hey, mute Chappie again. Fair.
We can't hear him.
Very fair. All right, 3. Green Bay -3. I think Houston's solid, but they're banged up more. I mean, they're getting Mixon back, whatever, but defensively, they have a lot of dudes who are like not huge names, but I think it's enough to impact things, and Green Bay's kind of figuring it out. So I will take the Green Bay Packers -3. And I'm just chalky boy when it comes to these Survivor job. I will take Washington and the Jaden Daniels train steamrolling yet another foe. Give me the Commanders to win for sure.
All right. Okay, there. Everyone's back. Nice. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and shout out to the barbecue place.
Zavalas, baby.
Delicious Zavalas.
Pull up.
Hey, before you guys hang up, just for old farts like me, can you give me what the leader of this whole group has selected for this week?
We'll get it to you.
Well, that's kind of.
You can't say it, Blake? Oh, he didn't send it
did
just
it?
yet?
I would assume he hadn't sent it.
Sent what?
Akash's pick.
His picks.
Oh, okay. Let's see. He texted him in. He wants Georgia. He is taking the Jets for his triple play and the Commanders over the Panthers.
Look how locked in Pops is.
God, yeah, he is.
He's going to be tracking the leaderboard all weekend.
Yeah, he is.
No, but if I'm trying to make up ground, I need to know what these triple plays are worth.
Well, everyone have a great weekend, and Dan's going to stick around for a minute. I love you all.
All right. Love you harder. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, Jake.
Oh, thanks, Mike. I've been here for 2 weeks.
Welcome back, Mike.
I love you, Cappy.
Mwah.
I like it with your glasses. I like those sunglasses. Put your sunglasses on.
All right, you're
next
done.
week.
You're already off. Okay. There you go.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think that went okay.
I love that, man.
Zone News.
All righty then. Let's pop on over to the news page here.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, Dan's here.
Hey, so is my audio sounding tinty like computer?
It's your laptop mic, is what we're being told by our executive producer, technical director.
So I was trying
rather.
to call these boys during the break. How do I change it, Blake? I want to set these things up during the break. That's why you said, let's do this during the break.
Dude, we got it. We don't need it. We're fine already.
Okay.
We don't.
Like, what the hell am I wearing this headset for then?
I don't know, but I'm going to do the news though.
I mean, I brought all this equipment.
I
this
don't
equipment
care.
So I can use it. All right. I'm trying to tell you.
So
I'm here trying to make your show, trying to help your show.
You remember
Dude,
how yesterday?
Can I tell you about my hotel real quick?
Go for it.
Why it's so great.
They have yogurt.
Free bananas.
Number one, they have yogurt.
Yeah, that's Dan's new bit.
Okay.
That's like the litmus test for hotels everywhere.
Number two. Now, I requested a room overlooking it because it's got a fabulous view. And unfortunately, it was almost fully booked up. Must be because of the Indians or whatever their team is. They're at home this week.
Hey, are you talking about the Gardiac kids?
Yes. So, number two, I can see if I had the right room, but this hotel overlooks
The Cheesecake Factory.
the Cheesecake Factory parking lot.
I knew it.
The parking lot. So I'm just looking down there, just dreaming.
Oh, yeah. You don't even need the hub.
Dreaming of Baker.
So, first story is a follow-up on yesterday's execution story. We talked about yesterday Robert Robertson, 57-year-old man who was convicted of capital murder, the death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki, back in 2003. The first person who would have been executed for the shaken baby syndrome. Turns out she definitely had pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
She was very sick. They'd been to the doctor multiple times. We talked about yesterday the detective that testified against him. Didn't take long for him to reverse field and say, you know what, I was pushing for a conviction.
And this guy's been in jail for 20 years.
Correct.
Spending 23 and a half hours a day in a cell the size of a closet.
Yeah,
I
believe he's autistic.
Yeah, they diagnosed him as autistic after he got in prison.
So the science that was used to convict him has since been basically all debunked.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a junk science law in Texas that was passed a decade ago that's supposed to prevent or at least hamper those from becoming those convictions being upheld, but in his case, they did not overturn it. A lot of members of the Texas House have jumped in and been like, "Oh, we need to pump the brakes on this." Well, he was scheduled to be executed by lethal injection last night, and at the 11th hour, they put a stop to it because he was subpoenaed by the House to testify on Monday. And I guess the way that the separation of powers work, it has been basically decreed that they can't keep him from appearing for that subpoena on Monday. And one thing that would keep him from appearing would be being dead.
Mm-hmm.
So he will not be being dead until then. Now, what are they going to get from the subpoena that turns this into, like, I don't know. I mean, at some point, Greg Abbott has to get involved. And the Supreme Court actually looked at this, and it's because it's our current Supreme Court, rejected it, but Justice Sotomayor, I wonder if I can still do those. I bet I can't anymore. Sotomayor, like, made a plea to Greg Abbott. Let's just give it 30 days and everyone look at this again. But right now, he's the guy from that Facebook meme who's in a hospital bed, and he looks kind of messed up, and he's in a gown, and he has tubes in his nose, and he was some guy, older, rough-looking, construction worker-looking white dude, and he just posted it with the caption, "I lived, bitch." You could probably find that if you wanted to, Rob. "I lived, bitch," and then hit images. I thought about tweeting that as the first thing when I got my phone back. But I didn't want people to think I tried to kill myself.
This is a borderline miracle in the state of Texas that
Oh my
this
God.
guy is not in the ground today.
And you know what, though? Like, if they actually do if they overturn his conviction and he gets out, I think it's a lot more impactful for it to happen in Texas than it would be for some lily lefty
like in
state, Vermont or
Rhode
something.
Island.
Yeah, if Texas is actually like, you know what? We do need to look at these things harder. Like, we'll kill you for blinking. But we're not going to do this one because it's. I think that's a big deal, and I would be proud of us.
Is he a white guy?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a chance then. Did he get his last meal?
Yeah, and if so, what was it?
I don't think they
gonna
do
get
that
another one?
anymore, or at least it's way different.
I think it's like you get a choice of a few things. You
Right.
don't get to say I want Maine lobster flown in.
You don't get 16 soft tacos from Bueno.
Yeah, so
and a bucket of hot sauce, which would probably be mine.
God, you and I just bonding over Bueno over the years.
For decades.
Texas abolished last meal request in 2011. They now are served regular prison food, but maybe they get like something special. Boy, there's some great ones in here. One guy requested justice, equality, and world peace as his last meal. And they're like, "You idiot. You know that's not a meal. Now you get nothing."
Now die. Did anybody ask for beef Wellington?
No, I don't think so. But they're all on here. The one here's the longest one. This is from 2011. And I think this might have been the guy, much like in treatment. It was very popular for it to be like, oh, one person screwed it up for everybody. Like they used to make cigarette runs. You're out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people do not have family to ship them stuff, or their family will not ship them stuff.
Right.
So they would run to the gas station with everybody's credit or debit cards or cash and buy a carton of cigarettes for them. And that is not allowed anymore. You couldn't go on a nature walk unless it was a certain number and they all had to be the same sex. We weren't allowed to use the pool. I never did, but some people use the pool with anyone of the opposite sex. So clearly things had happened. No food in the classroom, no food in your room, unless you were us, because of Eddie. And we would always say, like, oh, somebody screwed this up for everyone. And they would be like, yes, we just can't have somebody have a trash bag full of snacks. That's why we don't care if you have a few. Someone screwed it up. Well, in that case, we're talking about Lawrence Russell Brewer. His request: 2 chicken fried steaks smothered in gravy with sliced onions, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger with fixins on the side, a cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell pepper, and jalapenos, a large bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecue wings with a half loaf of white bread,
A pound?
3 fajitas and fixings, a meat lover's pizza, three root beers, 1 pint of Bluebell vanilla, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crusted peanuts. It gets better. Brewer's request was granted, but he refused the meal when it arrived, saying that he just wasn't hungry. This prompted Texas to stop granting last meal requests.
They actually prepared all that crap for him?
Yeah.
Amazing.
He's like, nah, I'm not feeling it today. I'm fasting. I'm trying to cut a couple LBs today. So nobody knows what's going to happen next with Robertson, but because this is all, I think it's without a precedent, Dan.
Unprecedented.
That's right. I have some funny Trump audio for you guys. The first one is from a town hall that he did with Fox News over the last couple of days. This interview was with the Fox News host who was present for. Do you remember when he did that National Association of Black Journalists?
Oh yeah,
we played a lot from that where he's like, they're taking black jobs.
Yeah.
And there was a lady from Fox News up there who, in my mind, has like the most dichotomous name of all time because she sounds like a pro golfer I would root against, but she's a black woman. Harrison Faulkner.
Wow. Yeah.
Like if you told me that Harrison Faulkner had really picked up some strokes on moving day, I'd be like, I fucking hate that guy.
Harrison Faulkner comes in third at the Open this year.
Yeah.
Grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah. Her name and her existence are basically like this theory my friend had about TV court shows, which was that the judge and the bailiff always had to be basically opposite gender and opposite race. So like Judge Joe Brown had a white lady and Judge Judy had a black guy. And we had found like 3 or 4 other ones and they all fit it.
Well, Harry Anderson and Bull from Night Court were both white men.
That's not a real show. It's not a real show.
Right, Dan?
Night Court. I think they brought that back recently, didn't they?
They tried, yeah. Did you watch Night Court, Dan?
Pretty rare.
Yeah.
I remember Marky Post and them big things she was fighting.
Yeah. She was a dish.
Dish. All right, here's Trump at that Fox News thing with town hall with women, and he's asked about a topic very near and dear to my heart.
I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question.
Yeah. Hi, President Trump. Welcome back to Georgia.
So somebody had said something about
the father of IVF.
IVF.
Like he invented it?
Yeah.
That means you invented it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, not pretty much. That's what it means.
Yeah.
He's the father of IVF, which I believe in some form has been around since.
Is he trying to say he's a father that used IVF?
He will. If I at first thought that, but based on what he tells you here, it's impossible. It was invented in the 70s.
I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question.
Yeah. Hi, President Trump. Welcome back to Georgia. We are so happy that you're here. We're all very blessed to be here with you, and thank you for taking our questions. So I'm the mother of 3 small children, and I have many friends that have struggled with fertility issues over the years while trying to grow their families. And while they're pro-life, they're very concerned that the abortion bans will affect their ability to access IVF and other fertility treatments. So although abortion does lie with the states, what is your stance on that, and what would you say to those women?
So I got a call from Katie Britt, a young, just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator.
Okay.
All right.
She's a senator.
Is that related?
Fantastically attractive.
He'll tell you about it in a second. But yes,
Let's
Dan.
just fact check. Who's that? Katie Britt?
Let's just be honest here, bud. I mean, I think she should probably look into a burger, but she's pretty attractive, dude.
Yeah.
She looks like the chick that Jim was interested in that wasn't Pam from The Office.
The one that he dated? Quincy Jones's daughter?
Yeah, what's her name?
Rashida.
She kind of looks on your monitor.
She's the weird one that did the thing in the kitchen after.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember her.
One of the debates or something. She's
like weird. She tried to do the Republican response.
She's wacky.
To the State of the Union, right?
Super wacky. Yeah.
Well, she's also a fantastically attractive woman.
Sure.
Like, this is a question. It's.
I got a call
I fact checked it.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I got a call from Katie Britt, a young, just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator. And she called me up like emergency. because an Alabama judge had ruled that the IVF clinics were illegal and they have to be closed down. A judge ruled.
I believe that's what this
Okay, so he went on to say in audio that I couldn't find that she explained it to him. Like he said, they explained IVF to me and I understood it in 2 minutes. And as I was telling you guys earlier, I didn't really know a lot about it before I got introduced to it, knowing that we needed to utilize it. It's not very hard to explain. Like it's a pretty simple medical process. It's like, how sperm and egg meet and they create an embryo inside your womb? Well, what if we did that outside and put it in the womb? It's like, I
didn't
get
have
it.
sex with a porn star.
I'm a scientist now. I understand it. It's extremely straightforward process.
How is he the father of it?
He just says it.
Okay.
Dan's frozen. Oh, there he is. Okay. It's my wife, when watching DeeZ TV a couple of nights ago, we were just kind of like, hey, this is cool. She wanted to see it. She thought that Dan and Blake's videos had froze.
Just because we don't move?
Yeah.
I'll keep moving for your wife. If I move, then Rob yells at me. Like, I can't keep the camera straight on you. So I try to sit still, and then she yells at me.
He's not yelling. She just was like, hey, these guys are stone cold killers.
I can't tell the story without it looking like I'm air juggling.
All right, here we go. Another Trump clip for you. This is from an event last night. I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like a roast. It's the Al Smith dinner. It's something they do every year, the president, and it's this big black tie affair, bow tie. There's a bunch of old people up on stage at like long tables. It looks like a Freemason type event.
Is it a fundraiser?
It's really weird. Yeah, I think so.
Was this the thing that made Trump run originally?
No, that was the White House press corps dinner.
Okay.
But it's very similar to that. What Blake is speaking of is when Seth Meyers and Barack Obama were making fun of Trump with Trump in the crowd. And you can literally see the moment where Trump is like, fuck this guy. I'm about to wreck his whole thing. You know what? I don't think he's from here. Like, he made fun of him, and everyone...
Have you seen his birth certificate?
Everyone in the room was laughing at Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And turning around. It was super awkward.
Seething.
Yeah, and at that point, you're like, all right, great work, Barry. So this is kind of like that, where the jokes are not written by the person presenting them unless they're a comedian. So on one hand, this is not that great because Trump didn't come up with this, and it's delivered like a joke, but I could definitely see Trump saying something like this.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Does anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
Every one of those people.
He's funny, man.
Like, he just straight up was like, listen, if you vote Democrat, you're a Democrat, you're a cuck homo, and you know it.
Yeah.
Somebody else is railing your wife because you can't, because you're too busy simping for Kamala.
Their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
Every one of those people.
I mean, that's a fantastic line.
I'm glad he never speaks in absolutes.
It's kind of there's no other way to do it.
Gettysburg, wow.
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 Yeah.
Win.
I looked at it and I said, wow. Let's see here.
We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever.
The best numbers ever.
You want to do Jay Cutler?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Jay Cutler, star of whatever Jay Cutler's reality show was that I got really, really into. Jay Cutler arrested on DUI and gun possession charges. Now, Dan looks shocked, which means you did not watch that show or know anything about Jay Cutler.
The gun is a little surprising, right?
No.
Jay and Kate +8.
Christy Cavallari. No, dude. This ain't like, hey, I might have to go settle a score with someone who didn't pay me. He's hunting guy. And Hunting Guy usually carries a handgun as well.
Okay.
Does Hunting Guy usually drink?
I mean,
like
that
on
pretty much
hunting
says
weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting and drinking are simpatico.
Yeah.
Did you see the funniest part of the story?
No.
What spurned this was he got in a car accident.
Yeah.
And they called it in, hey, this guy's probably drunk.
Yeah, and then they said he smelled, right?
Well, Jay, before the other car called the cops, said, I'll give you $2,000 if you don't call the cops. They said no, and they called the cops.
That's not enough.
No.
Whoa, my buddy looks.
Hey now.
But a former NFL quarterback, yeah, I think you got to offer a little more than that.
Yeah, $2,000. A little light there, Jay.
That might have been what he had on him, but
You got Venmo?
Yeah, that's
Would
true.
So yeah, first of all, you got to say I'll pay for the entire, accident, and I'll get you a new car.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah,
think
by
about
the
it. What you're talking about, really, and by the way, in contracts he made 126. So you just whittle that down, agent, blah 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 blah, taxes. Let's say 75 to 80. But he also did some endorsement stuff. So what you need to think about is this equation. How much do you think getting a DUI and a weapons charge will cost you to get out of? Because it's probably at least $10,000.
Yeah, probably 10 to 20.
How much will the damage to the car cost you if you paid for it out of pocket? I'm going to
10
ballpark
max.
10. We'll see. And now nobody knows about it. So
Increase in insurance rates.
Right,
Work that
exactly.
in.
So you've got to come to the table starting at 10.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Probably 50. Just get it done.
I mean, a Godfather offer for sure.
And the guns charge for defense on that might take him up to the 30 to 50 range.
It's possible.
And if someone offers to pay for my car damage and $10,000, I'm taking that immediately.
Yeah. Now, you may be having dreams of like showing up at court with like a neck brace on or something and trying to milk Jay Cutler for some civil suit or something, right? Suppose that could happen. But no, he's definitely on the list of guys. If you were to make a Bonds or Griffey list, quarterback DUI edition, Jay Cutler would have been on my Bonds list.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. We should think about that. Dan Marino.
Bonds. Kirk Cousins.
Griffey.
Well, now that he's in Atlanta.
Yeah, but I still think he's I think
Dak.
Dak actually this is an interesting one because Dak actually was pulled over.
He feels like a Griffey, but he's already got one.
Yeah, but now Dak.
New Dak,
I bet you it's Griffey.
Well, new Kirk might get pulled over with a styrofoam cup full of scissor.
Yeah, a little drank with his chains on. I think new Dak. I think
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, despite the God thing, despite the bus, Phillip Rivers, 100% Bonds.
Deshaun Watson.
I bet he's like the type of weirdo who's into really, really messed up stuff who doesn't drink, like Trump. You know what I mean? Like you know a guy who doesn't drink, and it's not because they can't drink.
It's because their kids lie elsewhere.
What gets them dopamine is like being pooped on. Seriously.
No, I'm with you.
Now, Patrick Mahomes, a guy who is known for partying, and his dad's been arrested for DUI
probably a terrible
many
way.
times. I bet you he's a Griffey.
Gardner Minshew.
Griffey.
Gardner Minshew.
Oh, excuse me, Bonds. I got mixed up. Bonds.
Okay,
Bonds.
yeah. Bonds, yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a Bonds.
Brock Purdy.
Boy, that's a good one. Went to Iowa State.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Griffey.
Yeah, he's definitely really into religion.
Yeah, he's a Griffey.
Baker.
He doesn't like
Baker. He's
Baker's
trying to
Bonds.
take off on foot and getting hip checked by the cops. God, he really is
Kyler Murray.
awesome.
I root for him so
I bet Kyler doesn't drink. You know, it's actually quite popular these days. All right, anyways, there's your news.
That was awesome.
Hey, thanks, man.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe. Zone presents Today in History.
You all those birthdays, Blake?
Yeah, I think we got them all in. Or a lot of them.
I updated it like at about noon. So I hope you got the last one.
We'll see.
You don't sound real concerned about it, bud. I'm going to be
If not, we'll hear about it.
Yeah, do you have a name?
I care about the people.
Yeah, I don't.
We remember.
Today is Friday, October 18th.
Hold on real quick. Dan, did you see last night?
What?
The Stars finally lost.
We were watching The Tribe
Oh, of course.
take it to the Yankees.
That kid, there's a Grapevine kid had a big hit, right? Like isn't one of their best players from Grapevine?
I don't even know.
Okay, well, sorry.
In 1767, the Mason-Dixon line
David Fry
was set.
That's a good
Did he
one.
have a big hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody on the team.
Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon just got together and said, all right.
What do you think? We should just... You go over there, me over here.
Yeah, they drew a line in the sand with their foot. In 1892, the first long-distance telephone line between New York and Chicago was officially opened.
What year? 18...
1892.
Okay. That probably was pretty cool for people.
Says here, the first question asked was, what are you wearing?
Yeah. Or age, sex, location.
You up?
Yeah. You up.
Let's see here. In 1968, the U.S. Olympic Committee suspended Tommy Smith and John Carlos for giving a Black Power salute as a protest during a victory ceremony in Mexico City. That's the infamous photo, right?
Yep.
It's kind of funny how all that stuff happens, and then you're like 20 years or however many, 50 years later, you just sit there going, obviously that's ridiculous that they would respond like that.
Yeah.
Like kind of probably like today's, rollbacks on gay rights or whatever it is. Like in 50 or 100 years, you'll look back and be like, well, clearly that's just, those people were just backwards. So,
I mean, there's a pretty good
progress
chance.
is moving one way.
There's a pretty good chance we think that about the death penalty in 50 to 100 years. But you know what, though? Like, I just looked up his name. Hey, I was wrong, by the way, about why Singapore banned horse racing. It's like for real estate purposes, so I got to take the L there. The guy who was up there with those two, the white guy from Australia, Peter Norman, he had the opportunity to do, like, the coolest thing of all time. Like, he would have been cookout invited forever.
If he did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if he stood with them, he would have been like...
He probably had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
No, but if he somehow did and picked up on it and, like, saw the imagery of, like, obviously these two black guys in America are doing this, I know what's going on there. Australia's got their own race problems for sure, but if he had done that, he would have been a bigger deal than them in America.
Eminem would have been... There would be no Eminem without him. But then there was Eminem without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1977,
horrible point.
That's okay.
Reggie Jackson of the Yankees hit 3 home runs in Game 6 of the World Series against the Dodgers, each coming on the first pitch of an at-bat.
You know what? That's why they call him the Babe.
No, he was Mr. October. And finally, in 2011, 50 wild animals were released by the owner of an Ohio farm, Terry Thompson, who then took his own life.
I remember that.
Authorities killed 48 of the creatures, while the remaining 2 were presumed eaten by other animals.
Jesus.
Yeah. I remember this.
What was this guy's name? Noah what?
Terry. Okay. All right. Terry Thompson. Zanesville.
Yeah. I used to live in Zanesville.
You see all these animals out. You got to, fly a helicopter and shoot them all?
18 Bengal tigers, 6 black bears, 2 grizzly bears, 2 wolves,
and a part.
1 macaque monkey. Macaque. How do you say that?
Macaw.
Well, that's a bird.
The bird is
really?
macaw. Yeah, it might be said that way.
Huh. Just say
a baboon, 3 mountain lions, and 17 African lions.
God dang, man.
African American lions.
Now, those animals were, that's right. Those animals were tranquilized and sent to the Columbus Zoo. Oh, wait, it was Cincinnati Zoo for Harambe. So never mind. I was going to say, if you're sent there, that ain't exactly being saved. We know what they do.
So wait, so they were killed, then sent to the zoo?
No, these are the ones that made. There was like 6 or 7 that made it. Yeah.
Okay.
Birthdays today. Former Ranger David Murphy is 43.
Wow. He's a really good dude. That's a Griffey on just about every front.
Yep.
Former Cowboy Mike Ditka is 85.
He had his opinions about the Washington football, without a doubt.
Once traded every draft pick in 1 year's draft to get Ricky Williams. And I think the next year's first as well. Maybe second. I recently looked into this.
Washington used those picks in part. Champ Bailey and LeVar Arrington. Among others. Yeah.
Pretty good.
And John Jansen, who was a pretty good NFL player.
All right, Dan.
Well, they must have been a playoff team then.
Well, no.
Dan, Alex Cora is 49.
Boston.
There it is. That's a layup.
Former Ranger great.
And a cheater.
Oh, that's right. He got suspended for a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Dan. This says Dalton Kincaid is 25, and the note here says fantasy disappointment. I suspect he might be on your team.
I thought you would agree with me. He's not on my team, but
okay.
I think we all expected a little more than him. If you're gonna,
still time, isn't it? Like his second year.
Yeah, but Dan, points in the tight end slot have been a little down this year. It's been a hard bunch of.
I would have thought with getting rid of most of our wide receivers in Buffalo, then the tight end would be relied upon more.
I know, but they run a 2 tight end.
Maybe a red zone target? No,
Dawson Knox gets a lot of the red zone targets.
The problem is that there were no receivers on the market that could be had for a relatively cheap pick.
You're talking about Amari Cooper?
Oh yeah.
Did you talk about Amari?
No, because it was Tuesday and it just happened. We missed it. It happened after our show. Yeah. Hilarious.
Isn't that amazing that they traded him and got more back for him than they paid? 5 years later.
Yeah.
That's an impossible thing to do.
Yeah. Now Amari Cooper's worth a 3rd round pick right now.
But they bought a car. And then the car costs more 5 years later.
The very rare appreciating wide receiver asset, which was only able to appreciate because the Cowboys sold it for 10 cents on the dollar.
This person wants to talk about bacon. Brittany Griner is 34. Says next to her name a pothead.
She knew the rules, is what I say. You know?
Gold medal skier Lindsey Vaughn is 40.
Wasn't Tiger?
Yeah.
This says tasted tiger meat.
Are these Dan's footnotes?
No, I think it's on the website.
Oh.
Birthdays.com.
Rachel Nichols is 51.
Jimmy Butler had that at Disney World.
Did she get drunk on that New Year's Eve football game or something? Remember that?
Nah, she was a little bit, but I think Michelle Beadle was pretty out there.
Michelle Beadle.
And that's Tuesday.
You know what the Hammer used to say about Rachel Nichols?
She'll own that. What?
Man, she's hot, but that ass is axe handle wide.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Axe handle? I mean,
yeah.
All right.
Didn't make a lot of sense. No, she did get in trouble, though, for leaving her laptop running after a Zoom call where she was bitching about Sage Steele or Maria Taylor or something. It was Maria Taylor.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Damn, I was trying to find that comment that you always talk about Rachel Nichols.
I think I have it. Let me pull it up. So this is an article. I don't really actually recall what this article was about.
But to set this, this is what, 2010 ESPN.com?
2009, maybe?
Okay.
2009 ESPN. There was a story that she posted on the website, a video, I guess. And ESPN used to just have comments.
Yeah.
It's very hard to believe this now, but 15 years ago, the ESPN website, every story just had comments, as did every local paper. And Devil and the Lord, his ESPN handle says, I would just like to say one thing about the first minute or so of the video. I would like to sleep with Rachel Nichols. She's not perfect. She's even a little goofy looking. But darn it if I don't want to bone the bejesus out of her. Rachel, if you read this, call me. So you're just watching some sports news stories on the website, and you're like, I don't know what it is. She's not that attractive, but I cannot stop thinking about having sex with this woman.
It's like the comments on a porn site that are anything other than name ?
Right. Yeah. Who the girl?
Right.
Bristol Palin is 34.
Damn.
Jake.
Yeah. She's my type. Crazy.
Zac Efron is 37.
Man, Hollywood messed him up.
Yeah, he's
What happened to his head?
all weird now.
Dude, dudes can get addicted to that stuff just like women.
What is
Where
he
they're just
on?
like,
Is it
just a crazy amount of fillers and Botox.
HGH?
Yeah, probably a little bit of that. He did like a travel show.
Yeah.
That I actually thought was pretty good, but it was also sad because there's a part in there like he would travel the world and he would eat and stuff. Yeah, I mean that ain't normal, dude. That's
like
and reconstructive surgery and stuff like that.
yeah,
he's on the road to Mickey Rourke world if he's not careful.
Well, he had an accident.
He did have an accident, I think, also. But there was a part where he ate some food in some country. It was like a pasta or bread thing, and he was about to cry. He's like, "This is literally, Dan, Derek from Step Brothers." He's like, "This is the first time I've had carbohydrates in 7 years." Like the studios were that obsessed with him having like
Abs.
rock hard abs. It's like, dude.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is 64.
Damn. Could still kick any of our asses.
Neo
Was that
is
a big chappy
Yeah, for sure.
kids weekend? We're going to watch some Van Damme movies.
That was a blockbuster rental.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's blood sport for me. Yep. Neo is 45. Baby Bash is 49.
Who?
Baby Bash. He did Sugar Sugar. Very popular song. I guess I just have to take my word for it.
Come, my lady. Come, my lady.
She's my superstar.
Baby Bash.
Katie. He doesn't say his name in the song.
Oh. That's Crazy Town, by the way.
Correct.
I was doing a joke, so you don't know the song either.
Yeah, it's a very popular guitar riff, I think.
Sounds like it.
I don't know. If you heard it, you would know it.
He thinks.
Chuck Berry, born on this day, now dead. Forrest Gregg.
No. We don't move on from Chuck Berry that quickly.
What do you got?
Do you want to do it or you want me?
Go ahead.
So he would, when he was hooking up with women, he had like a glass coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have women lay underneath it.
Yep.
And he would take a shit on it.
Whoa.
With them underneath.
He was into water sports too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the video of him. He kind of does it to her, doesn't he? This is just a fart.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
I think he wants her to do it on him.
Yeah, he watches from underneath. She cockas on the table.
Yeah.
And he watches underneath.
Well, he likes to.
Yeah.
I think there's one account or audio of him after doing that to.
Yeah.
A girl.
He pees on her.
Yeah, pees on her, and then she tries to kiss him, and he goes, "Get away from me, baby! You smell like piss."
I can't kiss you, baby. You smell like piss.
Also, his cousin Marvin once called him when he heard Marty McFly playing the guitar.
Yep.
Dan McDowell holding up the #1 sign for that.
Excellent. You've heard this. I know you have. Well,
I got
your
nothing,
lack
homie.
of facial expressions tells me that you have not.
I thought Jake liked
seen or
Is that
heard
Sugar
about it.
Sugar?
It says it's from 2003.
Keith Jackson died on this day in 2018. Oh, Nelly.
The voice of college football through my childhood, for sure.
I almost didn't show up to work today because Peter Boyle died on this day in 2006.
Who's that?
The dad in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Blake's favorite
And
show.
John Lennon's best man when he married Yoko Ono.
Really?
What? Peter Boyle?
Look it up. Look it up.
Don Wells, also born on this day, now dead, as
Marianne.
was Aaron Morin in Happy Days.
Joni.
Aaron Moran.
Dead on this day, still dead. Charles Babbage, the inventor of the calculator.
That's pretty sweet.
In 1911, Alfred Binet invented the IQ test.
Flawed, racist.
1931, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb.
The father of the light bulb.
What year?
And pornography.
What year did he invent the light bulb?
Oh, the phonograph. He died on this day in 1931.
Oh, died.
Was that your phonograph?
I was going to
joke?
say, I'm going to boo that joke.
No.
2013, Bum Phillips, the father of Wade, died at the age of 90. And finally,
The father of Wade.
the first round draft pick of the Whites, Colin Powell,
Speaks so well.
died on this day in 2021.
That's right. Got us into Iraq, man.
Wow.
And that was Today in History.
All right, well, that was pretty cool.
Well, there's Peter Boyle, John Lennon.
Enjoy your weekend.
Let me
No.
tease Monday. I will have a couple stories for you. One, the story of watching the Browns let me overtake Jake in our picks, as they will stay within 5.5.
I was going to say, or at least lose by
Not
3.
saying- That's right. Hopefully just to get into field goal range just to cover. And then also the story of tomorrow's activity, which is I'm going to a soup festival.
That's the most Ohio thing I've ever heard in my life.
Soup?
My friend was like, yeah, they're going to have like 30 different soups.
I
and,
do know you. I do know you love soup. That's pretty great.
Who doesn't love soup?
I like soup.
Oh, and it's soup season too, no doubt. I would be there.
Yeah.
I bet you they give you bread, you dip it.
Who knows?
The possibilities are endless.
All right. For everyone that's been a part of this one, good night.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.